of the Bosnian soccer team. His name's Edin Dzeko. He is 40, so he was a little kid during this time. He grew up in Sarajevo. Basically, like what happened is like the Bosnian Serbs surrounded the city. It was like completely sieged to. The key part that probably makes its way into pop culture is the snipers. The fact that you just be walking to get some bread, and if you could be like an 8-year-old kid and you could get sniped because you could be considered to be running intelligence to the enemy.
So that was Serbs shooting Bosnians in Bosnia.
Correct.
Yeah.
And this is
Bosnian Serbs. His mum was like, look, he's got to risk getting sniped to practice soccer, otherwise he won't go pro. Like, we've got a prodigy on our hands here. We're willing to take the risk of him getting sniped in order to maintain his soccer, because if he doesn't, he gets left behind, he doesn't go pro.
Damn. Commitment.
But there was one day where she was like, okay, I think today's a bit red hot. I just got a bad feeling about it, stay home, and the field got bombed.
Whoa.
So...
unbelievable. Man of destiny.
Exactly. And so he's now captain. So Bosnia's going to play on, I think it's like Saturday or something. He'll probably score a goal, I reckon. He's a striker. When you see Edin Dzeko pop up, remember that guy, if his mum just didn't have
What an incredible tale.
that Slavic sixth sense.
That's crazy.
Would not have survived. Well, welcome to the Mystery and History podcast. Today is a very exciting one because we're covering the Yugoslav Wars. And it's especially exciting because Ben and PY have been relegated, and we have brought in 2 Croatians to fill in for them to talk about the Yugoslav Wars. And as any good foreign policy conversation has to happen, we need to have a Pakistani there ready to take the crown.
Who will be representing Bosnia.
Well, they're all Muslim.
True.
I mediated all of this.
Thanks for having us.
Well, looking around here, we're too poor for even a camera. We tried it for like 2 weeks, and it was this like my wife owns a dance business, and it was this camera that she bought for that from 2011, and we're like, oh yeah, this would be really good for shorts. It's just horrific.
That's kind of like his camera that he started FriendlyJordies with. I love that.
What does it look
the
like?
mythology.
I love that old shit.
What's the camera look like? Is it kind of like a Channel 9 camera? Is it huge?
Oh no, that'd be way too far for it. It's like it's Canon, so it like can take photos. But I went into AI, like, how do I optimize this for video? They said, don't even try a video on this, and that's still the Mystery and History camera today.
Dude,
wow,
that's mad.
Yeah, I had a choice between a camera and a PC, and I went the PC because most of what I rely on is like mapping and stuff. So
No, that makes so much more sense. Go with the PC for sure, definitely. Especially, you want AI, you could just replace yourself with like a 3D image of yourself.
I used a thumbnail of so like the way that I prepare for a podcast, I try and anticipate what Ben and PY, who are my usual co-hosts. They know nothing about it, but they go in and just blind ask questions. So I try and anticipate what they say. So I made AI chatbots of Mislav and Ali to be like, what I did, because I needed to get a high definition photo, and the camera quality when you had that streaming deal back in COVID was like excellent. So that's what I used for all the photos. But I also got it to make chatbots of Mislav and Ali.
That's what it was.
And based off like, this is what I plan on talking about. What's Mislav going to ask? And it was, is Tito pro Mad Max or Cosmetic Gomez?
What?
What the
How does that far out? It's really not ready to take over, is it?
I was saying like, God, how does he get to the news like that?
Unless it's taking over from Miss Love, in which case it's ready.
Yeah, totally ready. Can you talk more into the mic? Just
Yeah.
just shift,
How's that?
That's better, yeah.
It's probably better, yeah.
Ali's was Tito on that train? It's very vague. Was Tito on that train? Because I think he must be using that expression a lot of the time.
He still does.
I still do every now and then.
It's his catchphrase.
Yeah. That's not bad though. It's an improvement. I thought mine would just be like, is Tito ready for partying down? Every single thing is just partying down.
Yeah.
It's better than that.
Well, no, I think that's like, how does he keep up with the news like that? Like, I think that's that.
It's scary. Oh,
Yeah,
right.
If everything, the answer was like, is it time to party? Then like you could replace Mislav with a bot.
Don't praise the machine.
From being a FriendlyJordies podcast fan, it was that and getting Jordan to explain for like the 50th time why a rainbow parliament isn't a good idea. Within the confines of what you're comfortable sharing, the Yugoslav Wars, how is it spoken about in your families?
Oh. Well, we'll start with him, obviously.
It is
spoken in Ali's.
I'll start.
You know what's incredible? It's probably spoken about more in his.
Yeah, it's like
Definitely.
It would be. His family would have a very
Can I be 100% honest about how it's spoken about in my family? Because we're not from the area.
Go for it.
It's spoken of as the one time when killing Muslims got too much because it was white people.
Oh,
That's how it's been spoken of in my family. There's like, there was a Muslim genocide, but they were white people, so it got a bit too much for them to handle, and Bill Clinton got in and stopped it.
Yeah,
okay, so you basically just replace your dad with Dave Chappelle. It's just like, always as soon as the white people involved, man. Like, is that what it is?
I mean, to be fair, white people were involved. It was
black stand-up set.
It just happens to be all white people, like all the parties were white.
Yeah, damn.
But that's it. That's it. Just like the Bosnian angle is the only thing that's emphasized in Muslim households. Yeah.
I suppose perhaps a little bit more heated.
Mine is just my dad's side. He's more just like, no, actually both of them are pretty. Dad would be pissed if so Dad's a bit more diplomatic and is like, it was very complicated. Whereas like Mum, the vibe more is kind of like the like invading treacherous Serbs tried to kill everyone, and we stood up for freedom.
Wait, who stood up for freedom? The Croats?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
When did they come out to Australia?
88, 89.
Okay, so
they left before they well before the war, but like a lot of my family was there. But yeah, just that kind of thing. A lot of allegory for kind of Russia connections, like Serbia backed by Russia, kind of this dominant like invading force, blah blah blah, draining the resources, and like this bureaucratic head just sucking all the resources from the surrounding.
Can I just say, how come there's no accountability for the fact that like you're engaged in separatism, trying to break off a country? It seems to be
part of the word freedom. Don't you understand?
Incredible. I never even thought about this.
What?
Dude, we're the South.
Yeah,
we're the South and we won.
I mean, from my understanding, those borders had been there for a very, very, very long time, and they'd split and rejoined many, many, many times. So this wasn't like some unique thing. It was just a modern war.
I think if I use an Australian example, perhaps the other way of framing it is like, what if Albo rage baited Tasmania to the point of separatism? So it's like, great, that's what we wanted.
What was your family thing? You're Algerian. Stop asking questions.
Kind of. It's actually close. It's quite, as always. Your ability to predict never ceases to amaze me. It's actually pretty fair. Because like mine, the ones that came were so old that first off, they were from that WOG migrant first wave, so they were just like, I am Australian, yes? And it was like, you might want to learn how to pronounce the name of the country, umpire. That might help you blend in a little bit. and stop eating pickled octopus. There's like a couple of moves with that, but then if you really push them, they were so old that they didn't even identify as Yugoslav. They identified as Austro-Hungarian.
Wow, that's amazing.
But then you talk to them and the next generation afterwards, and man, they have like very Serbian views, which is why I have very Serbian views, which is the classic. You might know this, you might not, Mr. M, but anytime you ever say that you're Croatian in a cab and the driver is Serb, there's always an awkward pause, and then they always say, it was better when we were one country. They say it every time, don't they? Every time. Huh?
Hell no, dude. They don't say that to me. I'd bloody give them a 3-star review if they did that instead of a 5. They don't say that to me.
What do they say to you?
They don't say that to me.
Transpire then?
They sort of, to me, it's kind of like, it was all, they're kind of like,
But
you kind of just look at each other for a while, and then it's kind of like, we are the same. We are the same. And I'm like, yeah, for sure, yeah. They don't go into like it was better when it was one country. That's kind of red hot,
Have you been?
It is kind of red hot. I don't know why they say that to me, but anyway, yeah.
They probably just... Maybe they can just tell.
Maybe you start off by saying Serbians were right. I don't know.
No, they're just muscles.
You do have the tendency to very quickly take sides.
Or maybe they just...
Maybe, actually, you know what? I might not be remembering it right, and I'll just be like, I'm on your side.
Or maybe there's just something more like Russian about your face or something. I'm just like, I know where this man stands.
Yeah.
Whereas they look at my beer swilling ass, and it's like,
Yeah, they see the blondness in your beard.
Maybe,
that could be it.
Yeah, I don't know. I've not ever copped that, but
No, also,
I've not had any bad experiences
I
with
think that you've also got, it might actually be this as well. It's the fact that you do, because I've been in the cab with you, you speak Croat to them.
Well, I speak Croatian, yeah.
Yeah, you actually start speaking to them, so they probably are on their guard more and think, like, this guy knows his shit. That might be it.
Which I don't, but
They know. With me, it's just kind of like, he's obviously second or third generation.
Yes, exactly. That's probably it, yeah. No, that probably is it, yeah, because I'll speak, and then it's like, well, you know, you can't, as soon as you're fluent in the language, then, or semi-fluent, then you're kind of, those generalizations go out the window a bit. It's more kind of like, oh, okay, well, we can actually have a conversation about it. I don't know, maybe.
Are you, like, so you speak in Croatian to a Serbian?
It's the same language.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, that's what I wanted to ask.
It's very, 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 very similar.
No, but like, can they tell that you're Croatian and not Serbian when you're speaking it?
If we spoke long enough, if I said the word milk, because that's pronounced differently. Croatian is mlijeko, and in Serbian
it's such an ugly language.
Yeah, it's so ugly. And Serbian is mlijeko.
Because I've heard
slightly ugly.
Sort of
Changes everything.
It's a horrible. It's not.
We deserve to be slaves. It's so gross.
It's not a sexy language. It's not a sexy language.
I've heard it's like a halfway point, so it's not quite the same as English US to English UK, but it's more than, say, like Afrikaans to Dutch in terms of familiarity of language. Of some of it's like 90% crossover.
There would be no language barrier, put it that way.
Yeah. So, like, if you sort of trace the history back, don't know when the original, like, Proto-Slavic tongue began. Theory is sometime around the 6th to 7th century AD. So Christianity was on the scene at that point, but clearly there was some ancestral link that was beyond Christianity even reaching its way to Eastern Europe because of things like dances and a couple of other cultural phenomena that are observable in multiple states of what would constitute the former Yugoslavia.
Saxophone in the Euro club vibe. That's so bad. No, sorry. Yes.
Perhaps Ukraine is where the original origins of the Slavic tongue began.
Well, apparently everything began in Ukraine.
It's Ukraine.
Ukraine is like level 0 for everything. Apparently all of our languages began in Ukraine.
Really?
Yeah, like the original steppe people were from Ukraine.
Yeah.
And they went and essentially killed everyone else and took over the women.
Oh, so we're talking like...
I'm talking like way back, but like, I'm just saying that Ukraine part, it's the origin point for a lot of stuff, so I'm not surprised. Anyway, continue.
Well, yeah, so I think it was Ukraine in the 6th or 7th century AD.
I think that makes sense because my mom has this theory, love you, mom, but she's just like, we're Iranian. And it's like, you know, I can pretty much understand Russian. It's very similar to Russian. I can't understand any Iranian. There is a connection. It doesn't take a rocket science.
It's so weird. What a weird theory.
Is that like a sort of like fetishization of wanting to be part of civilized, like...
Maybe, but it's a backed theory. There's proof. There's some...
I have. And like, obviously you look at a Persian person and you're like, okay, there's something clearly more European about you than...
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Maybe it was
even the Vikings used to think that they were originally from Iran.
Really?
And that's how they actually started stealing stuff from Europe, like on their way to Iran.
Seriously?
Yeah, and it turns out like they did some like linguistic study on it, and it's not that like a lot of them think that they're originally from Iran, but actually Iranians might be originally from there.
Really?
Whoa. Yeah, again, from the Ukrainian steppe people. These are the Indo-Aryan people. And we know this not because of like any evidence we found, but just based on like linguistic studies of how language is formed.
Wow.
But everyone thinks that they're from Iran and Europe for some reason.
The Elizabeth Warren thing of, remember? This would have been when we're peaking, like, consuming our most amount of right-wing media. This is easily pre-Jordies deconverting me.
Yeah, do you know about we was Kim's.
It was like, I remember, she was like 1 point something Native American, and Trump said, I'll compensate you. Like, because he said, I'll give you $1 million if it turns out you're Native American. Right. And he's like, I'll pay you 1.7 whatever percent of $1 million.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So we have like just some common form of Slavic people together. One of the bigger causes of tension is, and obviously this would be testament to perhaps what your family would say, is the Serbian migration westward towards Croatia. Now, how well do you know sort of religion in the area?
Serbia's like Orthodox, like Russia.
Show him your cross.
Yeah,
So that he knows better.
And Croatians, I know that they were occupied by the Roman Empire for a long time, so they're Catholic.
Yeah.
Bosnians Islamic.
Yeah.
Slovenia is that
Bosnia's
even
a
a
mix,
country?
though, isn't it?
They're all mixed.
It's all in, yeah, no, but there's not many Muslims in Croatia.
No.
you know?
No, it's like a 51. It's like 51, 52%.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was that. Oh, I didn't know that.
No, Bosnia. This one.
I didn't know that it was that. Yeah.
No, there's plenty of. I guess because
I don't know how the fuck the Serbs stood strong with the Orthodoxy. That's really weird because Bosnia's more up.
No, it's
Bosnia's-
no, it's down.
It's down.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So why the fuck did they keep Orthodox?
Russia. Surely. It's a Russian
It
influence.
was the Russian influence that kept it going.
I think so.
I
I
guess
mean,
just proximity to Greece as well, and proximity. Did you like in your Byzantine stuff? Would you have covered, the closer to the Byzantine Empire you are, the closer to their orbit of orthodoxy, I would assume.
Yeah, I know, but they're all so close. I just don't understand why, like that kind of just they are those three religions in that one little.
Bosnians were converted to Islam by Turks, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
And did they occupy Bosnia for a while?
See, that's why you got to give the Serbs some slack, miss. Like you have to. Like, dude, they held the line.
That's true.
Like you would not be Catholic without the Serbs.
Is that true?
Dude, they were always on the front line of holding back the
that's
Islamic peril.
yes.
Or
Caliphate.
we live in 2026. We gotta be a bit more careful about this. There's all sides to the story on this couch.
we have Protestants.
No, but the way that you look at it is that like Islam held the bay of Hinduism.
Exactly.
No, as a Protestant, we're like practicing Protestant as well. We are the winch merchants of Christendom. Of just like
Right.
you have Orthodoxy holding the line, backed by Catholicism eventually, and then Protestant just goes not good enough and start their own.
Question for hardcore Protestants, are Catholics like heretics?
Honestly, Protestant, it's the big unifying thing about Protestants is that we're not Catholic, and so there's such a big spectrum across the board that there is really no unifying Protestant theology. There's I go to an Anglican church, so there's like Anglican theology, which is somewhat universal across the world, though it does change regionally. But the more extremes would go, they are. But it kind of undermines what Protestantism is that Protestantism's claim is that it's something that supersedes the church that you belong to. So by therefore making a value judgment on someone's profession of faith by what church they go to is very much undermining the claim of Protestantism.
The only reason why I asked this is because PBD, particularly
It goes back to NA.
Goes back.
he was, when Pope was just talking shit on Trump, he kept saying the Christians have different views to the Catholics. So he was calling Protestants Christians.
Stupid. That's Protestants do that all the time, and it's one of my biggest as a coalitionist.
Yeah,
I was just
don't you see the Muslims here?
It would be the equivalent of saying someone who's deep into being a Labour right shill saying you have Labour and Labour left. It would be that sort of claim that's pushing the banner of the culture.
Because I was thinking if Protestants are Christians and Catholics are Catholic, weren't Catholics the OG Christians?
Yeah, exactly.
They started.
Wait, Augustine is a hero to Protestant and Catholic circles. I mean, a Protestant would go so the Protestant argument is that there is no singular authority on who can interpret truth. The Bible does that for themselves. Catholics would argue that's stupid because then you get the American, obviously they didn't say it at the time, but you get the American church where everyone has their own rendition on what truth is. And so sort of the Protestant claim is, well, you can have communion with God through Jesus Christ, of which you don't need to be a part of any particular church. And a church that says you're not a Christian because you are not part of our church is not actually practicing Christianity. What do the Protestants then go and do? Say, well, you're not a Christian because you go to a Catholic church. It's so...
Okay.
Jordan was going to...
Yeah, but hang on. Yeah, who's OG? Is it Orthodox or Catholic?
Well, none of them. They both splinter away from each other. So the schism between Orthodoxy and Catholicism happens in 1054.
Yeah.
Over this thing called the
Good year.
Wow.
Just saying it was a good year. You should.
The crop was very good then.
It was I own this thing called the filio clause, which was basically like it's this very technical argument of does the Holy Spirit come from just God the Father or But the bigger structural argument is that since the fall of the Roman Empire, they were both gravitating towards different circles. Orthodoxy was gravitating towards obviously the Byzantines, and Catholicism was in those failed states that happened after the Roman Empire. But Rome's claim, as sort of a perhaps religious, probably more realistically political claim, was that authority, like the Pope is the supreme authority. The Orthodox claim was that the Bishop of Rome is the first among the bishops, but they have primacy, they don't have supremacy. It all comes to a head in 1054 when the Catholic Church goes, we want to change the creed, the Nicene Creed, and the Orthodox goes, no, you can't do that. We set these rules up, we've got to abide by the Constitution. The Catholics like, no, we're the Pope, we can do whatever we want, we can change the Constitution.
No, it's Springfield and Shelbyville.
It's the same. Can I also say I understand as a footnote and to the audience, sort of like I understand the argument and Jordan's take, which would be like the Byzantine Empire was the last fort of the Roman Empire, and they were Orthodox, and they were like holding it up, and they were badasses and like a mad example of like the last vestige of an epic society. So I understand why you might have more allegiances to something like being Orthodox, but like, what am I going to do? Walk up to my grandma and be like, read this, watch this YouTube video. No salami for you. You know what I mean?
And on top of that, I'm sure she's very well versed in the argument as well.
Yeah. But I understand that argument, and I'm not saying that's not a bad argument at all. But like, it's
my only thing about the Orthodox that I would imagine, because again, I don't know anywhere near, but I don't know anything about Christianity, but what I do know from my scant knowledge of the history around it is that I would imagine that the Orthodox religion would be just so much more scholarly.
It was. I think Catholics would freely admit this.
Right.
The Catholics don't pick up intellectually. They get like their couple of hallmark guys like Thomas Aquinas throughout like a 1,000-year period. But in terms of having a machine that built scholars, couldn't compete with the Orthodox Church
for sure.
Until the Protestant Reformation forced it to be competitive again, and you have the Counter-Reformation, which basically leads to a much more intellectual form of Catholicism after the mid-1550s.
Right. Interesting.
It actually was way dumber before that.
Totally, yeah. The Protestant Reformation didn't happen in a vacuum. It happened because you had clearly con artists going, if you pay us enough money, we can basically get some time off your grandma's sentence in purgatory.
Yes.
Which it worked within a framework of you give to the church and you show your devotion to the church that will be recognized by God. Broad principle that could exist in the umbrella of Christianity gets bastardized to be this ScoMo version of Christianity.
Right.
Hang on there, Jack. Most people believe that the reason Protestants came to be is because King Henry wanted to get an extra missus.
Well, that's true, but that happened. He worked so that's like the 1530s, and 1517 is when Martin Luther leads his Reformation away from, or I would call Reformation, Catholics would call it insurrection, rebellion, away from the Catholic Church. So he wants the divorce. Originally, he's a staunch critic of Martin Luther, and the Pope actually rewards him for that. He calls him defender of the faith. But then you go to the 1530s, he's like, nah, okay, I really need this. It's not because he's horny, it's because he needs that male heir. Because Henry VII was the first of his line to be on the throne, so his claim to the throne is very weak to begin with. If he doesn't get a male heir, he'll get taken away from his family. So he had plenty of side girls. Like, this wasn't a.
That was it.
It was about an heir.
Sure.
And then he's like, okay, I'm running out of time here. I've got to get this divorce. Can't do it through the church. Start my own church.
Damn.
Good to know.
Interesting. Anyway, yeah.
So obviously Yugoslavia, what ends up becoming Yugoslavia, big melting pot of not just different denominations, but also different religions entirely.
How did they get together in the first place? Like, if they're always I don't know if you've looked into that, but the first time, was it 1920s or whatever when they became?
Yeah, 1918. Yeah.
Yeah, what convinced all of them to just sign up for this? Was it just Serbia was really strong and they were afraid?
Well, just World War I, really.
Okay.
So you got
because Austria-Hungary dominated before that empire.
Yeah, so Western Yugoslavia was in Austria-Hungary. So Bosnia, that's what started World War I, was that Bosnia was under Austro-Hungarian control, or at least the surface level reason. You have Croatia and you have Slovenia that are under the control of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Then you have Serbia as its own independent state. There's Balkan Wars in the early 1900s as well, which allows them to expand their territories. They get Kosovo. I can't remember. They might have gotten Macedonia as well, or at least North Macedonia at that point. I don't think they got Montenegro then. Montenegro comes later. But anyway, so Serbia's built it up as sort of a regional power. The Austro-Hungarian Empire is the much bigger power, but they fall apart in the middle of World War I. They have to dissolve. That's part of the peace conditions. So afterwards, we have an independent nation that doesn't have Greater Serbia in it. It's called the Kingdom of the Slovenes, Croats, and Serbs, excluding the majority of Serbia. It's Serbs that are living in Western Yugoslavia, Croatia. And okay, if we look to our west, over the sea, we have Italy. Mm-hmm. Italy have swapped sides as they do in the middle of World War, and they are coming to the Paris Peace Conference hasn't happened yet. That happens a year later, or throughout 1919. But they're coming in pretty heavy-handed to Paris, saying we want a lot of concessions going towards us. So they're like, okay, we're pretty worried here. Territorially, we're a sitting duck. We've got to make ourselves poisonous enough that if Italy tries anything with us, we're going to make life hell for them and make it a really long, protracted war. So we're going to need some greater backing. Serbia, obviously, they want to expand, on the winning side, they want to expand their influence. And so they do a merger deal. The Serbs get to keep their kingdom. And so it is something of a concession of subordination to Serbia for Slovenia and Croatia and Bosnia to join them. But they end up doing that in after World War I. To become, I don't think, does it not get called Yugoslavia? Not till 1929, I think, is when they adopt the name. But they keep the Serbian king. And so it's very much a Serbian entity until World War II. How much is, Croatia, Yugoslavia during World War II? How much airtime does that make in your households?
Not that much.
I mean, it's mostly dominated by Pauline Hanson at the moment. I'll be honest.
There was a Prince Paul. There was a Paul.
I mean, I know that news, like front page news, my grandparents basically fought. They were occupied by the Germans.
I just say it.
The Nazis. and you're all on a warning. First warning, second warning for you. No,
why are we getting warned?
Because his grandpappy was a Nazi.
But why are we getting warned?
I'm just saying, everyone's warned. You, and you. So yeah, I know about that. Probably, but it's like join or die vibes.
That's what Miss Love claims.
That's I have to say in this country.
There is also voluntary sign-ups.
I think
they'll come for me, Mr. History. Yeah, they'll come for you too. You got to be careful. I know you're from Cronulla. You got history. You got skeletons in your closet as well. All right.
What did the Nazis think about the Croats?
The Croats themselves.
Probably weak.
Really, I reckon they would have thought that we're pretty close to the Ubermensch.
It's just means to an ends, really.
Because how
such
many
a non-priority for Germany.
The Nazis occupied a lot of countries.
Correct.
What were they all? Poland?
I mean, just double digits to name them all.
Oh, so that's what I mean. So it's like,
Yeah. So
it's a rich tapestry.
Yugoslavia is absolutely...
Stop feeling guilty. Your grandpappy is not you.
They are...
No, that's it. You're in your third warning. He's not joking.
I didn't say it.
Yugoslavia were absolutely screwed in World War II. And that's just you got to get that on the table of... You look to their west, it's Italy under Mussolini.
Yeah, they're screwed.
And they're advancing southward. Germany's on their run eastward out towards eventually the Soviet Union. And really, any possible Western allies are far away over all the Axis powers. So,
and may I add, someone that could have protected them was the Ottoman Empire that they got rid of in the first war, which no longer was there. But continue.
Oh, that is a long straw.
What is it? Actually, sorry.
Man means he could have been
What is the Pakistani stance on the Ottoman Empire itself?
They love it, dude.
Yeah,
even today.
I know that it's Muslim, but it's
no, but not just because of Muslim. They have a history of being really like subservient to the Ottoman Empire until today the Turks. You know, like during the First World War, they still are. During the First World War, the Indian, at the time it was India, Indian Muslims and Indian Hindus for that matter, including Gandhi, who was heading this movement, was pleading with the British government to not get rid of the Ottoman Empire. And they said, if you get rid of the Ottoman Empire, then we're going to kick you out of our country. And the British just lied to them, saying like, okay, just support us in the war. If you do, then we promise we won't get rid of the caliph. And then they got it anyway. And so like they absolutely love. And the Muslim empire in India, the Mughal Empire, they were actually ethnically Turks.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Which because
I did not know that.
Depending where you are in the Muslim world, like we were looking at the history of Saudi Arabia and a long history of like they
hated them.
Yeah, it's because they're moving the Islamic world away from their locus of control.
Hey, we just beat him in the soccer though, so that's one for us.
Oh my goodness, that was cathartic. I haven't decompressed yet. That was
what a game. But anyway,
and I did see a short of I was so hoping Yilmaz, because I
saw the Yilmaz thing too, and I was like, they've had
a history. Okay, so this is my way that I found out.
Yilmaz comes in for the kick.
Yeah. A guy in my maths class who I don't know, he had a reputation of being a dropkick, but suddenly he just went on this intellectual pursuit. He just dropped Yilmaz frequently in the class. We were talking 2015. And for me, I'm like, there's this player called Burak Yilmaz who was this like Turkish player. I'm like, I didn't know you were into soccer. So I asked him about it. He's like, no, there's this guy called FriendlyJordies who does skits about this guy called Yilmaz. Then I watched you. And then at that point, my cognitive dissonance was like, he says this thing I don't agree with. I'm not going to watch him. Because at that point, I was on the right-wing train.
Yeah, he had a bit of a crazy story.
I had a road to Damascus moment when anyway, we spoke about that last podcast.
Yeah.
But during Yugoslavia is absolutely screwed, and so their Prince Paul basically goes, we've got to cut a deal with the Nazis here, and we've got to. Otherwise, we are completely surrounded.
Yeah,
the military are like, hold up. Why did we unify again? It was to basically make ourselves
stronger.
It was the League One new term is a puffer fish of like, okay, we're not going to survive on our own, but we can poison the enemy, and that is enough of a deterrent to actually stop them. Let's actually, we're not going to be a puffer fish if we never follow through with what we say we're going to do. So there's a coup that happens where they install a guy called Peter II instead, and the military under Tito now has effective control over Yugoslavia. But there's a separatist movement going on in Croatia called the Stasi state. This is where it gets a little bit more difficult. I'll use on the theme of soccer, I'll use a soccer analogy to explain.
Please do.
There's this Croatian soccer player called Josip Simonic. He's retired now. He's actually an Aussie. So he was born in Canberra. It's lived here till he was 20. Went over to play for Croatia. Represented them at the World Cup. He's famous for a couple reasons. First reason is he got 3 yellow cards in one game, which was the first time that ever happened against Australia.
Fuck yes.
So the ref forgot he gave him the first one. So he got let out of jail by getting the second, but he still managed to find a way to get the third. He's an Aussie who plays for Croatia, and then after Croatia qualified for the 2014 World Cup against Iceland, he went to celebrate with the fans, and he did a fascist salute, and he started doing this chant, which I can't remember how it goes. It's basically just Croatian pride.
Yeah.
He got suspended for 10 games for that.
Whoa.
Because this chant was used by militias that would go through the villages in Croatia in the Stasi state during World War II, basically shooting down Serbs, rounding them up into concentration camps. We're not talking gas chamber concentration camps.
Fun ones.
The fun ones.
Force them to look at numbers.
What?
Yeah, they're concentrating.
What? 6 times 6?
Numbers. No, don't try and make sense of them.
I thought
Concentrate.
It's a mind game.
I thought you were sort of go down the route of 6 million. So that it was between 200,000 and 400,000 Serbs were killed.
Oh shit! I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so he is like, oh, dude, I grew up in Australia. I just thought this was some Croatian pride thing. Okay, the fascist salute. But I'm willing to believe you on that.
There's definitely a crossover.
He grew up with he would have probably been in Australia when Pauline Hanson was the member for Oxford. I can see a scenario where he's not that aware of the cultural history of the country as a place. Anyway, his appeal wasn't successful. He was like, I promised I had no idea what I was doing. I just thought it was some Croatian pride. His defenders say, look, this chant was actually used well before it was just like, of course, during a time
It was co-opted.
Yeah, that makes sense.
of strong national.
It
was co-opted.
He's completely defendable.
No, I get it.
Looking forward to the headline of
Friendly
Jordan
just an AI image of Jordan doing the salute. It's just like Jordan supports.
Anyways, it's between 200,000 and 400,000 Serbs that get killed in the Stasi state.
Right.
The Nazis sort of don't really trust it either. They had pretty strong SS presence monitoring it, but you could say it's a puppet state.
Right.
Anyway, end of World War II. Tito is victorious. Yugoslavia actually liberate themselves. They get some help from the Soviets towards the end, but they've got that huge banner. And really, I think you asked, like, why did Yugoslavia get together to begin with? Without World War II, I don't think they survive, really. Like, if World War II doesn't happen in the 40s, you probably see the Yugoslav wars accelerated to the 40s.
Yeah.
Because they've got this, like, it's this great mythos that we liberated ourselves, like, we put our cultural differences aside, minus Croatia, we put our cultural differences aside to free ourselves from the Nazis. It gave them, like, obviously a boogeyman unifies any country, and Hitler is the greatest boogeyman you could have. And then at the same time, it also found a good way of consolidating Tito's power. Tito was a Croat.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, I thought he was Serb.
No.
Nah.
Shit, I didn't know that.
You didn't know?
No.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
He runs on he runs on a unity ticket of, like, I don't say race. And you keep enough of the
I mean,
An elbow-like figure.
They are all the same race.
Well, that's the thing, like, whenever you watch,
I don't see different shades of white. Sorry.
whenever you watch, like, any, like, sort of Yugoslav wars documentary, is like, oh, the different ethnicities, and you do look at that and you're like,
Bullshit.
but
There's a little gypsy down the bottom, maybe, but
yeah, structurally it keeps.
What, Montenegro?
Well, like, Montenegro really, they kept the flag flying longer than, like, they didn't give up on the project.
Yeah, isn't it true? Even when the Yugoslav broke up, Montenegro was like, we're still with Serbia.
Yeah, so the 2006 World Cup, sorry, it's going to be a point of reference for everything today. There was a theoretical scenario where Croatia, if Australia hadn't have knocked Croatia out, there was
which they did. I remember that.
There was a theoretical scenario where Croatia could have played against Serbia and Montenegro, who were playing as a joint team because they were a joint country at the time, in the round of 16. Fortunately, Serbia also didn't get out of their group either, and Germany averted that crisis that they would have had to have dealt with as the hosts. But
Thank God, that would have been World War III for sure.
Yeah. It's like how Israel plays in the European Soccer Confederation because
and Eurovision,
for obvious reasons. So
not in Europe.
Wait, what does that make for obvious reasons?
what?
Because it's gay. Was that what you're saying?
I was talking about the fact that they're just associated with Europe, not the Middle East, because the chances
You're on thin ice,
it's not
Mr.
even drawing Israel Palestine. If you draw any of the anyway,
set you up a minefield.
Well, yeah.
Very Muslim of me.
Tito could benefit from the best of both. He's a Croat who is a hero in Yugoslavia, who also got to enjoy the bureaucracy that Serbia had left behind. Because it was a coup, the military picked it up, they ran with it. And so it could work for a number of years. The great issue that Tito was going to face was how do you then translate that authority that I've built into myself into institutions that last beyond me, which obviously it doesn't happen. But that's what he's like. That's the great crisis that he's thinking about.
But you're saying when they unified, it wasn't just because they're like, we're all one. There was other factors. It was like
just mainly geopolitical rather than it was.
They just were stronger together.
Yeah, pretty much.
Gotcha.
So it was destined to break up eventually, if that's the reason for you to get together.
But I would argue that, yeah. Which is like all it takes is just like a couple of Pauline Hanson figures to add some accelerant on that, and it happens quicker than it otherwise would have.
Like European Union in the future.
Well, yeah, okay, that's what I... Well, it's so funny. It's like Croatia were desperate to join the EU. I think it was 2004 they got admitted or something like that. And it's, I don't know, no sense of distrust of how do we know you're not going to...
That's like what Jordan and I discussed. Like, imagine if you were like a migrant from the 80s in Taiwan, moving to US, you're like, I'm done with Taiwan. This place is going nowhere. And then as soon as you leave, it's like double-digit growth for like 40 years.
Yeah, screw that. Just moving to Chatswood. Like, it's worse.
Yeah. You pick bad timing. It's like
to the third tier city
Korean
in China.
leaving in the 90s, you know? Like, if you just stuck by a little longer.
A little bit longer.
Don't forget you revoked your passport.
Yeah, that's the image of the gold miner right before he Anyway, Tito, political background. What's Yugoslavia? Like what's their sort of political system they adopt in name at least?
Soviet
democracy,
system, right?
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
It's a democracy.
So they adopted
Soviet. But wasn't there like a thing that they were somehow like, even though they were Soviet, they were separate from, which I never really completely understood.
Well, if you adopt a Soviet model, so a Soviet model is very heavily centralized.
Oh yeah, they were commies.
Which just doesn't translate to a system of like 8 different republics that you have to give so many individual concessions to keep the federation together. So Tito tried Titoism, which was basically like keep the wealth redistribution, but
commies.
Don't adopt the complete centralized control and allow for as many decentralized wealth redistribution programs as possible.
So slightly better communism.
One could argue.
Yeah.
They actually like.
Hey, do you think that this is the mythology of it? Because this is what I always learned in my family. But it was this sort of thing: is he was able to go to Stalin and say, you know how you want communism in one country because that's just what's going to happen there. Like it's just because of that ethnic tension here. It's just me that can hold it together. Because my family are like massive Tito supporters, and it like is that true? Do you think? Do you think it was just him that was able to hold it?
Your family has such higher level conversations than my family has about politics.
Same.
Mine's like, but what's going on with the Sharks game this week?
It is quite wog. It's quite wog to have like either high level political discussions or like in Miss Love's family, just talking about food and like keeping it at bay.
We have family friends that I was just thinking he'd be great on this. His English isn't very good, but he'd have a lot to say. Like some of them,
he'd have a lot to say. But dude, that guy is like the guy that you worked for at the fucking window cleaning business. It's like evolution's a scam. Like, he's the one version of
I'm up with the law to get that. Which,
it is not. It is not that. It is not.
For anyone who hasn't tuned into the Mr. M History podcast before, the framing of it is we are not equipping you to have a lot to say about it. We're equipping you to get by.
Get by. Yeah.
Anyway, so to answer your question, the way I've always interpreted it was just a natural buffer state between the Eastern Bloc and the Western Bloc that made it less red hot on the Soviet-owned borders. They did fall out.
That was also like something that he was able to say to Stalin as well, which is like, I can be your sort of diplomat, let's say, to the West.
Yeah, I mean I have not done much research into the like personality politics behind Tito and how I very well could be the case.
But you do have to give Tito credit. Like, for how long did he keep that country together? And as soon as he left, it just completely
Seriously,
broke
it took
up.
not even a decade.
So Tito was probably right when he was saying that to Stalin.
So he leads the non-aligned movement. He actually puts up fairly stiff resistance. Like, you can go on YouTube and look at all this footage of like Churchill giving Tito the red carpet treatment because he ends up being big leader of the non-aligned movement during the Cold War. And even after like de-Stalinization, Khrushchev is like, Stalin was a bit hawkish with you. Let's try and smooth things over a little bit. And so it seems like he did win out diplomatically on that. I agree with Ali's point that like history would vindicate if that's what his pitch was to Stalin. History would vindicate that.
Yeah. Okay.
Or could you also argue that like those countries were just never meant to be together?
Yeah, I mean,
dude, like honestly, I see. This is the whole thing. I think that if the Nazis won Second World War or like maintained some sort of bloc or something like that, I don't think that Yugoslavia would have held its position. It was only because of the indoctrination around communism, where it's kind of just don't even think about ethnicities. It's all economic.
Yeah, and
right? And that's the only way. But that didn't really work. But it's the only framing that you could use to even keep them together for a bit.
Right.
And Tito's framing was Ostase Croatia will go after the key leaders and try them, but like so much amnesty is going to get given because if we linger on that historical grievance.
Right.
So there's like sort of there's two ways you can achieve peace after a societal trauma like that. There's the Mandela approach, which was emphasizes truth telling, which for a decade looked like it was working, and then you look at South Africa now and you're like, okay, is it a case of the more you linger on past grievances, the more both dig in their heels? Or there's the Tito approach, which is let's just pretend that didn't happen.
That's an approach. Let's just pretend.
It's like
Dude, that is a really I'll tell you that, dude. That permeated throughout Yugoslavia, because again, that's the cab driver thing that you always hear. There's always just like, it's all in the past, it's in the old.
Oh yeah, you definitely
they
hear that.
Always do that.
Always been like, it's
Yeah, but there's also like that's a good coping mechanism. What are you gonna do? It happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah.
let's just pretend it never did.
This is going to be like
you're right.
Let me activate one like prime Ben Shapiro reference from my like deep recesses. Ben Shapiro's counter argument to Israel-Palestine was like, let's not talk about the history because you fall down the infinite regress fallacy of like, you can, like, you respond to that, so you respond to that, and you can go back to ancient history. So let's just start from now.
Let's start from now.
Yeah.
But even now,
will now be renamed the Ben Shapiro method.
Let's just start from the most recent Hamas attack. That's when history began.
wait, so what Ben Shapiro is saying is like, let's look at what's happening now. I don't know if that works out well for Israel either.
So this was pre. This was pre October 7th. This would have just been in response. Like, obviously, I'm assuming he was talking about some like Hamas rocket attack or whatever, and that he's bringing that up on his show. And his framing is, all right, history starts now from this Hamas attack.
From now. No, wait. Now.
And stops now.
Israel's bombing Lebanon every 5 hours. He's going to have to start it now again and again.
My time was on, yeah. So anyway, like Yugoslavia limps on. Its living standards, like if you were to sort of count them as part of the Eastern Bloc, which they weren't, but for the sake of argument, their living standards were higher. And obviously because of their, not just their economic system, but because of their geopolitical ties, they had access to the global market at a much, and the Western Bloc at a much greater rate than the Eastern Bloc did.
Can I just preface this by saying too, obviously, for my situation, every situation, you have to, I think it's important to like acknowledge a lived experience, you know? Like, you know,
Why real postmodern? I'm this like,
what the hell? Why did you become a gender studies teacher all of a sudden?
Dude, take the hat off. We've got Foucault on the podcast. Look at this. So the thing is,
It's such an out of character thing for Miss Love to say.
so good.
who's Foucault?
Everything is how you say objective.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
What?
I'm saying
It's subjective.
I'm just saying, like, in the example of, like, you know, like, let's say, like, your girlfriend's parents are, like, pro-America. So, like, there are obviously going to be people with lived experiences that are like, well, if your cousin was disappeared, no amount of political rhetoric is going to convince you otherwise.
of course. Like, I don't know, if my family gets killed in the crossfire of, like, a Hamas attack on... I'm like pro. Like
that's what I mean.
That makes you pro-Israel.
I just think that's just an important thing to mention in like these, like, when it's a history thing, because it's just like, well, you can't understate those factors.
And just for a correction, that does not make you pro-Israel. Being born makes you pro-Israel.
Don't you think this is always something that should always... I really like this phrase. The view's very different from the top.
Oh yeah, that's
Don't you
really
think
good.
That's the way to look at these.
That's
kind of
really
issues?
good.
Yeah, it's just like, man, when you're talking about geopolitics and shit like that, it's kind of like, yes, it's very important, but it's just like they're going to have a completely different
Exactly.
world.
They're almost
Like,
two different worlds.
It's two different worlds.
To me, weirdly, they don't cross over. They're completely abstracted.
Yeah, it is like that.
Anyway, I just think that's worth mentioning.
Yeah, like for the leaders, it's like not only a case of like dealing with the chessboard, but dealing, if you're a democracy, how you market that. Yeah, it's
Lived experience.
Anyway, yeah.
But anyways, so that's why I'm right. Anyway, go on.
Actually, sorry, the first
everyone
one of
is
the
right.
first FriendlyJordies videos that set me on my road to deconversion was your video on Australia Day. I don't know if you remember that one like years ago.
Yeah.
Because I guess for me it had the olive branch of like woke people who moralise that Australia Day are annoying.
Yeah.
So I'll jump on that train. But I showed it to multiple people. The bit that got everyone every time was when you basically pretended that you were a victim of the Yugoslav wars until you revealed at the end that you were watching Pokemon at home.
Yeah.
So
I remember that. That's a really good way. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. I
I'm
remember.
popping a squat right now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I remember that.
So good. Anyways, that was
That's a good comparison.
a key brick in my deconversion was that. Anyway, so we fast forward to 74. Tito is in the predicament of I'm going to die fairly soon. So we've got to try and structure, which I'm going to be curious, perhaps you know the answer, but if not, I'd be curious to hear just like a brainstorm here. How do you structure out Tito when he's gone? Like what system would you create to try and fill that void?
Man, I'll tell you what. You know what I honestly think would have done it? I reckon that North Korea did it the right way. You need an heir. You need a fucking heir. You need to make Stalinist monarchy. Yeah. that's the way to do it.
It probably would have held it together.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
This is like one
Tito
of
2.
T2.
Better than the original.
Come with me if you want to live.
That's amazing.
Wait, did he have any sons? He did.
He would have, yeah.
I'm sure he had kids.
But this is why, like, I think the hereditary model of kings, we look down on it now, but it makes sense. It gets rid of the fight of who's going to be
exactly. That is true.
As long as you keep the inbreeding part out of it, so that you can keep.
Well, as long as you can associate the blood in their veins to some kind of royalty, that's their qualification. They could be an idiot, but they'll be king because they have that. It just gets rid of a lot of, like, I feel wars.
Allow me to interject for just a second. If you are from the slither of the Mr. M universe that doesn't happen to know about the Friendly Jordies expanded universe, go and listen to their podcast. It's going out on both of our channels, but you can follow them on Spotify too. And I was on the Up Late on their Patreon last night where I spoke about some inside scoops that I had gotten on Malcolm Turnbull joining the Labour Party in the 1990s. And you get Mr. M's guide to churches in Australia. Alternatively, you can listen to the Mr. M History podcast if you're from the Friendly Jordies crew and haven't seen it yet. And you can also join my Patreon too, where I give my more spicy takes.
Yeah,
that's probably.
That's exactly it. I honestly think that's the only way that you could have kept it going. And on top of that, I feel like, I don't know, but obviously your family hates Tito, but the fact that my family likes Tito and like everyone on my shitty little inbred island likes Tito. Like, I'm imagining that Tito had fans. Like,
obviously.
All of
No, dude. I know Croatians, but like family friends that are massive Tito fans. So it's not like a race or whatever. It's not a country.
It's all the same
divide.
race.
Yeah, like, you can live off the glory of your dad. You can just be like, I am his loins, and like people just look at you and then they just recognize, and then they just see Tito in their head, and it's like everything feels cool. You know?
I'm surprised that didn't happen in a way.
No, dude. It's like the same thing with North Korea. It is really, really uncommunist to have a fucking monarchy.
Oh
Actually, one question, serious question: how much of the falling of the empire itself post Tito is just attributed to the fact that the Soviet just couldn't bankroll them?
That's because it happens during the fall of the Soviet Union.
That's what I'm thinking. So like,
which means, so in terms of it being a potential for a proxy war, America just has the final say of like, do we do something? Do we not? America's also like, they're bogged down with the side quest in Iraq because it's the first Gulf War.
So a lot of it was. I never thought about that.
And Americans would want it to break up. It just like breaks up this unilith power that's a buffer state next to the Soviet Union.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't create like a disruption to trade and allows like free flowing. But of course it would, particularly because they like at least the western side of Yugoslavia ends up courting the EU or the European communities as it was at the time.
Same thing like with the Middle East, like they wanted Ottoman Empire to break up so that they can control all the other ones. I'd imagine it'd be the same in Yugoslavia.
So it was kind of a proxy between Russia and America.
Yugoslavia. No, well, Yugoslavia was non-aligned, so it's kind of like but
it was a buffer state.
We're gonna,
It was a buffer state, and I don't know. Again, this is what I hear, but like Tito played both of them very well. You know, but that was the North Korean element actually. Like just being like this teeny state that was just able to play these bigger states off of one another. Really, like because again, they were kind of just like the messenger between the two.
Right.
So like they were kind of the access of information between it. So
because during the Cold War, if you were neutral, the only disadvantage or the scary disadvantage of playing both sides is like if there's a war, you get crushed because you. Yeah. But if there's no war, you just get money from both sides. It's an awesome time.
Oh yeah, and if you had a history of being aligned, you could get like the like Patrice Lumumba treatment in the Congo. Like let's say literally tries to like poison his toothbrush with toothpaste.
But how much of it was Russia being like the money's not coming anymore from us or something? Like the not support. We're not supporting. We're shrinking.
Well, no, it's not necessarily that. It's more. I think it's more a case of like Russia could get involved to help to help Serbia, Eastern Yugoslavia, to maintain the resistance. Once NATO bombing got involved, I think Iran were also Iran got on the bandwagon first and started funding.
They are Iranian.
True.
Wait, who were the Iranians funding?
I'm pretty sure they were funding Croat separatists.
Oh.
I know.
Takia.
I know.
Constantly big up in Djokovic.
Well, I think so because
he's Serbian.
I know.
What do you mean?
Because the West didn't get involved initially. And like Germany, who had just unified themselves, Germany were like, "Oh, recognize Croatia." France like, "Nah, too risky. You need to make sure there's a bargaining chip that Serbia can walk away from. If we just recognize Croatia, that's going to humiliate them." The UK and the US at that point was more on the France side of things. And NATO does get involved, and Tony Blair gets involved with Kosovo right at the end. But that doesn't happen initially. So there is a power vacuum for a third power to come in and go, Croatia, your existence will be indebted to us. And obviously, Iran is looking for any friends they can in the world at this point because we're only a decade on from the 1979 revolution. I don't know too much about the passage of weapons from Iran into Yugoslavia, but I know the argument that a lot of people put forward, particularly anti-Western bloc people, are like, NATO did not end the Yugoslav wars. NATO didn't put the pressure on the Eastern Bloc. It was Iran that actually kept Croatia alive. So basically what happens, to fast forward a little bit here, when the war happens, the Yugoslav army is concentrated with the Serbs. Croats don't have any weapons. The European community, so the precursor to the EU, and America put an arms embargo on funding Croatia with weapons. So there's this huge structural disadvantage. So you can really be a hero to the Croats if you come in and go, we'll fund you.
Right. Which
is what I imagine would be Iran's stake in the game, looking for any friends they can in the world.
I had no idea.
And also, Croatians were siding with Bosnians too, right?
And yeah, they were. They had a war amongst themselves and then went back to fighting with each other again. So, one of the guys that got tried for war crimes, I don't know if you remember it, this was in 2017. He was a Croatian, I can't remember. Well, he's one of the two. He's either Croatian or he's Bosnian. During this brief period where Bosnia and Croatia turn on each other because they squabble over resources, he actually ethnically cleanses was accused of ethnically cleansing one part.
No, apparently Croatians did do that to the Bosnians.
Don't worry, we forgive you.
It was the style of the time.
But anyway, so he gets tried for war. He gets found guilty as late as 2017, and his last words were, "I'm not a war criminal. Drinks poison."
Yes, there we go.
That's mad. That's like one of the early YouTube viral videos.
I've been before my time.
And dude, it was Santa Claus. That's the crazy thing. He was also
the memes
Santa
were
Claus.
sick. I will never forget that. The shot of him about to taking the poison, and then it's just like, when you get another Lynx pack for Christmas.
That is so 25th plague. That is so mid 2010.
Yeah, it still works for me. Like, it was a good meme period, man.
That would be like the same time, like it was like Clive Palmer, Tim Tams, and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was that era.
The peak of memes was just Jackie Chan doing this.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
That should have stuck around. That was a good. That should be like a Fields guy or something.
Genuinely funny. Yeah. It was very funny.
Anyway, so that was when the Bosnians and the Croats turned on each other. But then they went back to being on the same side.
Right.
That is one of those instances where I actually do defend my people.
What?
I was just like, when that happened, I did feel like a soccer match or something. I was just like,
This is bullshit. You're just doing this because you got that Redkov.
I was just like, nah, that guy did not deserve to fucking get the crime, I reckon.
Yeah, I don't know.
He voluntarily turned himself in as well. So that
Did he? That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, he was ashamed of what he did and shit like that. But I honestly do genuinely think that it was like, that was the peak of tension of that war.
Yeah. The fact that he drank the poison means, I guess, he's like quite principled too, right?
Yeah, dude. Like, yeah. But he's in documentaries and shit like that, just being like, there's some dark shit that I'm not proud of.
Yeah.
Like, you know? Whereas like Radkov was kind of just like, they're rich.
Jesus.
So the solution to Tito dying was to rotate the presidency between the different republics. So you get 1 year. Kind of like school captain.
Really?
Just like, all right, now it's the new year 5. They get school captain.
Each country gets a representative of... You're still Yugoslavia at that point.
Yeah, still Yugoslavia.
Right.
So it's Croatia's turn to have the president. It's
one by one.
The president.
But you still needed votes in their parliament, right?
Yeah, and there was the decentralized parliaments that had a lot of control, and actually Serbia tries to exert their influence through not the first step isn't through military action; it's through getting control of these individual parliaments. Like, I don't know, their equivalent of whatever the 80s equivalent was of botting the algorithm to get the polling up.
Yeah.
So he dies in 1980, and then throughout the 1980s, like all I say is like, thank goodness we had Bob Hawke and Paul Keating at this time, because like it's not just the ethnic tensions; the economy is a huge accelerant to the collapse of Yugoslavia.
Yeah.
So there's general inflation across the world. So like, everyone complains about like, Bob Hawke started when have I found a way to make the Yugoslav wars a pro Bob Hawke?
We got there.
When Bob Hawke became Prime Minister, obviously Jordan has done lots of content on the Accords, where basically there was a wage freeze to begin with because inflation was just way out of control. This was globally across the world. One of the main reasons behind it was the oil shock, because the Arab nations said, if you're loosely allied to Israel, you're not getting our oil anymore. Which Australia...
How things have changed.
Yeah. Because we had Gough Whitlam at the time. That actually didn't apply to us because Gough Whitlam was our most pro-Israel prime minister we've ever had. But pro-Palestine. Or even just I wouldn't even say pro-Palestine, I'd say anti-Israel. Anyway, but we are still part of that Western supply chain, so it still does affect us. But there was really bad inflation in the world in the late 70s and early 1980s. Yugoslavia's solution is non-existent. So because it's a communist society, they've got all of these deadweight state-owned companies. Like, you know how the Commonwealth Bank became a deadweight for the government. Yeah. It's imagine 1,000 Commonwealth banks draining draining the budget and not actually serving its intended purpose or its intended mandate to actually... Right. So you don't get the common good benefit.
It just wasn't working.
Yeah, and if you're going to eliminate a lot of market forces in there, you are going to lead to issues like this. There's an argument to be made against it if they do serve some other purpose, but a lot of these companies weren't serving that societal purpose. They just became financial deadweights. They got bailed out by the State Bank of Yugoslavia. Now, to do that, they've got to print off a lot of money, which causes hyperinflation in Yugoslavia. Right. It was 2,900% inflation. So whenever we're going Jim Chalmers.
That's worse than elbow.
Yeah.
He said it.
Yeah, just remember.
Someone had the balls to say it.
Just me and Husey.
Inflation, we're getting there, Alec.
to ignite the Yugoslav wars, it took 2,900% inflation to light the match. So even we can talk about the collapse of Yugoslavia being an inevitability, but the reason why it happened in the 90s as opposed to say the 2000s or the 2010s was this match that was lit in the 1980s. And so when people are like, this is going to be civil war, I can't do the Gary voice as well as you guys, but that bit of perspective as to what if the same ethnicity or broadly the same ethnicity can hold together. Anyway.
No, that's interesting because it's it just tells you how economics can fundamentally change your country forever if you're just in a long time.
And if you have all these long-term structural weaknesses, and thank goodness Australia's never had a crisis as poorly handled as that. And structurally, as great as Tito was in terms of his geopolitical negotiations, you could argue that he left behind this poison economy that at some point
someone had to drink like that guy.
And I felt musical chairs.
This is the economy as a metaphor.
So I would argue that musical chairs just happened to fall on Yugoslavia in the 1980s. If you are a much more of a nationalist persuasion, you do the Pauline Hanson method of it's migrants. Or it's it's because we're subsidizing.
Right. It's not the economy.
Because we're Serbia, we are subsidizing.
But wasn't there a bit of that? For example, Serbians in Croatia, where these guys are fucking up the country. They're coming in and they have split loyalties. They're more interested in Serbia, and they're and kind of right because they went against Croats as soon as the war started.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Imagine if just in this building that we're in right now, it gets flooded with 20% Americans, and they're sort of
it's 80% Hong Kong, just so you know.
Cautious of giving away location because Jordan's here.
That's just Sydney. We are
reduced it to everywhere but the Western suburbs.
We are in Sydney.
Which are from the Shire. Greater Sydney ends at Menai, but
fair.
That's Montenegro.
Yeah, it's Montenegro. It is.
But just imagine, I think because we sort of, because for people that are heavily anglicized like me, names that end in itch get jumbled in together, and it's easy to sort of divorce the reality. Just imagine 20% Americans rock up in your building. They're loud. They're being loud. Mislav's favorite venue for Forest Hall to play gigs at gets replaced by some American mega church. They bring that style of Christianity out here. They come in you have a diaper, man? You have a diaper for my baby? And you're it's a nappy, mate. And you're kind of bloody assimilate here. Come on. Where do you think you are? That is playing out times 1,000 in Croatia at the time, where Serbs are sort of going, hey, one country here. We're all part of this federation. So it takes one person to like capture the spirit effectively. And does your family talk about Milosevic much?
I know the name. I think that at this point they're like, you don't need the details, and at that point I'm like, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I know.
I thought that they would fucking hate.
Yeah,
it.
I don't know.
That's so weird that they're just like, no, Tito, he sucked. You didn't even know he was Croatian.
I didn't know.
That's incredible that they focus in on him.
Yeah, I know the name.
Absolutely thought that they'd just be like at Milosevic's throat.
I know the name. Maybe they have such hate that they're like, I can't even talk about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's Voldemort.
It might
Okay.
be. What's the go?
Yeah.
So if you think about how power works in Yugoslavia, Serbia's that's their New South Wales, the majority contributor, and the Communist Party is like the Labour right of New South. Just like the group that the Graham Richardsons, the group that's perpetually in power, or structuring in power.
Yeah.
So a lot of the power base of Yugoslavia comes from Serbian Communists, the Serbian Communist Party. He ends up becoming the president of the Serbian Communist Party, and begins to make a bunch of nationalist speeches, kind of does like his Trump rally, so to speak.
Yeah.
At least this is the way that Croatia would frame it. If I am Serbian, I'm highlighting the fact that we had the Croatian puppet state during World War II. He's arguing that Yugoslavia is just conveniently forgotten about this genocide that's happening. So while we're going on about never forget about the Holocaust, we're not talking about the genocide that happened to the Serbs. And so if I'm of a Serb persuasion, that's sort of the argument that I'm making as to why he was doing what he did.
By the Nazis. Is that what you're talking about?
With the Nazis.
Like whataboutism.
Yeah, and basically don't forget we've forgotten this. It's important that we never forget this.
Yeah.
The purpose that highlighting attention on that obviously serves is the fact that it divides Croats. Well, it divides Croat from Serb.
Unifies the Serbs, I mean. Yeah,
exactly, and gives them a rallying cry. And so this is happening across Yugoslavia. The other thing that he does is because Serbs have a strong presence in pretty much all of them bar Slovenia, if you can activate that Serb base, they can be a very vocal minority. And as we're seeing, obviously bots went around there, but at a couple of bots with just a small activated loud community, you get the fact that migration is the story front and center for like every day for now 6 months on end, and it hasn't stopped. So there's a lot of conversation in Yugoslavia going on about just ethnic nationalism and the need to implement it. He argues that basically Serbia is a welfare state for weaker countries in Yugoslavia.
Gotcha, yeah.
And
he sort of inverted the narrative from what everyone else was saying.
Well, just saying, like, if you Croatia, or let's just pick another example. Let's go Montenegro or something like that. Basically, we are the economic hub of this federation because we're sharing our taxpayer dollars evenly across our wealth evenly across the country. They're getting disproportionate benefit compared to us. Yugoslavia serves them more than it serves us. And so he starts championing Serb nationalism. Now, Serbia, as it was, probably wasn't strong enough to survive on its own, but you could make it a greater Serbia if you basically carve your way into where Serbs are across the Yugoslav Federation in the other federations, or the republics, I should say. So he starts being a very strong champion for that. And that does raise some global concerns of like, is this going to spill over? I don't know. Jordan, did your family talk about Milosevic? Did they have much of an opinion on him?
He was great. Is that what they said?
No, now that I think about it, they didn't talk about Milosevic either. I think it's just because they immigrated. It might be just that. They immigrated before that, so it felt kind of like distant and foreign to them or something. But their opinion of Milosevic was very much what the news was saying about Milosevic.
What year was this?
He's doing this throughout the 1980s.
So
his most famous speech was 1989.
Yeah.
And then that's when your parents decided.
Was that no one is going to hurt you? Was that one?
And then revokes.
My dad already left for America at that point. Yeah. But
so you know how there's like let's take Jarvis Bay, which is technically one for the global audience here. It's technically ACT, but it's in New South Wales, and structurally, there's just too many ties to New South Wales. So if like a crisis happens, the New South Wales police are going to go out to Jarvis Bay. So technically, it is a part of the ACT. Kosovo had a similar relationship to Serbia, but obviously on a much more delicate scale. And Milosevic revokes Kosovo's autonomy. The other thing that he does is he is able to champion the Serbs enough to put enough public pressure on people in the different Yugoslav republics to basically say resign. Like, you don't have a mandate to rule these people anymore. You're too unpopular. And so there's a number of key resignations that get replaced by pro-Milosevic people. So Milosevic comes to control 4 out of 8 of the by proxy, 4 out of 8 of the Yugoslav republics.
Okay.
So it's
I don't know why. I don't know. Yeah, maybe it was too like.
But I'm always
red
curious,
hot
like,
for them to talk about it.
people like Milosevic and stuff. You're essentially ruling over a loose federation that has intense nationalism brewing. Surely you realize at that point, like, maybe Serb nationalism that stretches beyond Serbian borders is not a good idea.
It's a weird way to unify the country.
Well, but he's not the president.
You're fucking lighting a match.
But maybe he thought he was unifying.
He's not the president of Yugoslavia. He, I don't know, would be the equivalent of just any faction boss from the New South Wales Labor Party going like New South Wales supremacy. So he's the leader of the key bloc within it's a pretty narrow.
Or Pauline Hanson. No comparisons there.
Or Pauline Hanson isn't confined to a state. If she was confined to a state, then I think it would be a...
No, you know what it's more like? It's like the WA Premier or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like Jack Lang.
Yeah, but even one step removed from a premier, it's like the power broker of the premier's party.
Right.
So anyway, he ends up getting basically driving a wedge between East and West, and that gets intensified throughout the late 1980s. Spills over in 1990. So there were elections in the different republics in 1990, and in Croatia we get the election of Tudjman, who was a Croat nationalist, and then later Izetbegovic, Begovic, I think is how you pronounce the name, who was a Bosnian nationalist as well.
Right.
And afterwards, in 1991, Slovenia and Croatia declare their independence.
Right.
So to come back to Ali's point, if you're looking at it and you're like, I'm kind of on Serb's side. You can't govern a society.
Hey, hang on a minute. That's not my my position.
Dude,
is basically.
That would be your position.
This is my position, and you'll enjoy this position. My position is every white man on Israel and Palestine. I hate both of them.
You think I'm with Hamas?
You think I'm with Israel? Hey, just get them together. You'll keep fighting. No, I don't. I guess man, I haven't spent a lot of time thinking about this, but I grew up not liking the Serbs only because I guess I watched CNN just like you guys.
Yeah. If you to take Serbia's argument, which was the smaller point you made before was, but you can't just greenlight separatism. You can't just go if you're wanting to govern a society. Then that's just going to encourage everyone to fall apart. Then you completely lose your security and economic bloc that you built together. So that's where you can that's where the Serbian point.
But surely throughout this period, Croatia was being a pain. They must have been.
Yeah, you had the big thing was that a lot of Croats didn't like Tito because they're like, you're a Croat, show it, and you're sort of cuckolded to this broad-eyed Yugoslav Federation, and so Tito's like, shut up, see the bigger picture.
Right.
Dude, don't you think
and also on top of that, this is the other reason that you have that real ethnic verve in you for the independence movement of Croatia. I really do think that just spans back to a Roman Empire point of the fact that Croatia had always been under the thumb of a greater power. And I think that Serbia had exercised moments of independence throughout that time.
That's probably true.
Croatia had always wanted that.
I think that's probably true.
They'd always just been some kind of forced Bali holiday.
Yeah, no, totally, dude. Totally. Bali totally.
I did watch
And Croatia's also isn't it just indefensible because it's just a beach?
Yeah, it's tiny.
The whole country is just Normandy.
Yeah.
You can land everywhere.
Literally, dude. Yeah. No, totally.
I didn't even think about that.
It's not well positioned. And
it is. To be a party hub. To be a beach. Yeah. It's,
to be a party hub. Yeah. I just meant to defend itself.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. So that's a fair point. Yeah.
Slovenia, Serbia's whatever. They fight a 10-day war, and they're Like again, vital sea access, not really worth it. Doesn't it? I think like Slovenia only had like a 12% Serb population or something like that. Not
they just sat out of the whole thing, didn't they? Basically.
Well, Slovenia got their way. Serb was just like,
who cares?
We can't fight a 5,000 front war. You guys do your own thing.
Yeah.
And then they turned their attention towards Croatia, and initially like Croatia's. And you've also got the fact of like historically they're under two different spheres of influence for a lot of their history. Croatia under German influence, so Germany exercising control through like Habsburg, Austro-Hungarian influence. Serbia under the Russian bloc. So you've also just got these like long-term historic ties that go elsewhere. Anyway,
you can still sense that too in Croatia. There is German influence. Yeah.
Mostly from your grandpappy, but
holding it down.
It is.
Yeah.
talk about they're better at soccer as well.
Hey, true. Croatia is good at soccer. Aren't they better than everyone else?
Per population, it's them in Europe. Like per capita, it's them in
really
Uruguay
good.
that punch above their weight.
That's crazy.
Yeah, for sure. Croatia's a good team. They were like the semi-finalists in one of the Euro
Yeah,
Cups.
they've won it.
They've been semi-finalists. They beat Germany 3-0 in the 1998 World Cup. So they've been semi-finalists twice, and they were runner-up in 2018.
Haven't they won it though?
Won the World Cup?
Yeah.
No, they were runner-up.
My bad.
Also, who do you go for, Croatia or Socceroos?
Nah, dude. The bigger underdog, which is definitely Australia, so always Australia. Although in high school, in 2006, when Australia beat Croatia to get into the semis to go to versus Italy, I came to school so proud with the fucking green and gold, and by like the 11th person that was like, shit, I was like, I just threw the thing off. I'm like, yeah, well, fuck you, we'll win the next one. Like, it was like forced on me so hard that I'm like, yeah, well, you've made me like Croatia more.
Yeah. Damn, he got a small taste of Wagga simulation.
Yeah.
As someone who's...
Australia.
I love Australia.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. It's a Leamington.
I bought you Veppy in
as a
It's just
Plum-
like a bunning snake.
as a Plum who grew up in the Shire, that was pretty much like...
Same thing?
Yeah, exact same thing of like, I went for Australia in the Ashes once. It's like, shut up, Plum.
Because you were born in England. You can't.
You're not allowed.
I mean, I suppose that's the Australian way to be reminded of where you're actually. Even though I was born
I was like, I'm assimilating. What do you want? It's like, no, I want you to be stateless when it comes to here and there.
Actually, that makes okay.
Dude, that's
in
the
the
weird
Rugby
thing
World
about
Cup when it was England versus Australia, the Wallabies. Man, Joe took the side of England. Then everyone was just like, "Trader, fucking trader." You can't win. You can't. Like, it doesn't matter what side you take. They're just going to fucking attack you.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, why is that? Like, on one hand, you're supposed to assimilate, but on the other hand, as soon as you're like, shut the fuck up, you're a Croat.
It's the One Nation thing.
Dude,
Like,
when I
I'll
was-
assimilate by parking my money in Australia, being a taxpayer here. It's like, oh, you're stealing our property benefits. Like, you can't win here.
Yeah. What the hell? That's
Bro,
a good point.
I was in this country maybe 5 years in at uni, and one of our Jordan, my friend, who's known as Dome King on our podcast, I remember once looking at him and being like, dude, do you think like I should just go for Australia in cricket now? And he looks at me and is like, I'd be so fucking disappointed in you if you did that.
Really? Why?
Because he, I don't know, like
was
same
the
thing, like
opposite.
assimilate, but at the same time don't.
Yeah.
Well, I think you've got an out as a Pakistani.
Why?
I don't know, for whatever it might just be because cricket is the gentleman's sport.
But do you realize how much I want Australia to be my team and not
Yeah.
Pakistan?
Really?
Yeah.
What, just because they're shit?
They suck, and Australia is like
no.
consistently one of the best fucking teams in the world.
I think
But that's why you got to do it. You got to cheer for the under. That's the most Australian thing to do.
No, but it's like, it's sad. It's
I think
just
adults will be more chill about it. It's just that everyone in our
My
high schools
children
No, I swear
will
to God, there
never
was never
support
fights about
Pakistan.
cricket.
They will support Australia. I'm telling you.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I will not pass on my trauma to
now
my
that I think
kids.
about it, yeah, when Joe supported England in the Ashes, no one gave a fuck. It was rugby, it was soccer.
Weird.
Yeah.
So it's like a gentleman's sport, I
This is
suppose.
because these are just like apes running at each other and like wrestling over a rock.
It's
Like,
so territorial that it's just like your name sounds like them, so fuck you, you're them. It's like
yeah,
okay.
and then when it comes to soccer, it's even because, dude, soccer. The reason that this soccer rise, I didn't even know this until someone explained this to me. But like, the reason that it gets so heated is it's not about the game. It's just straight up ethnic rivalry. It's just continuing on. Like, that's all it is.
It's an excuse for, you're right.
It's just an
That's
excuse
what the World
to beat
Cup
up
is.
Serbs.
This is why I reckon
It's an excuse to beat up the Irish.
And how?
It's that.
It was a good old, it was a great old time.
well, I'd love to see a thought experiment if Jordan, stayed in Scotland, ended up being Scottish, because Glasgow Celtic, or they call themselves just Celtic versus Glasgow Rangers. Literally, so the rivalry is built around native Scottish people versus Irish Catholic migrants. Glasgow Rangers actually had a rule that Catholics were not allowed to play for Rangers up until 1989. So it lasted
Wow.
it's totally just an outlet for division. And then the Shire.
But isn't soccer or football just way more ethnic like that?
Yeah, and it's global games, so you add in all the nuances. And then the Shire is if rugby league was a suburb.
I just, by the way, purchased a North Sydney Bears jersey.
No way.
Yeah.
Excited?
Yeah, well,
do you have mixed feelings around?
Yeah, I have mixed feelings, but with the amalgamation thing, but I just want to represent there's no representation.
There's nothing for it, yeah.
I need fuck Manly. Well, I got nothing.
Yeah.
I don't care. If they're coming back, I'm very excited. I would have bought it even if they're not coming back, but it's just good to represent,
Yeah.
I think we are inherently very tribal people. People are like that.
Which why sport is so much a bit of an outlet.
It's better.
I know there's the Marxist critique of sport that is a great distraction. I'm actually it's a useful distraction because it just gets non-constructive tribalism funnels it into something that's harmless.
Yeah, exactly.
It's true. Even with New York's winning, the Knicks winning, they're so fucking happy.
Yeah.
And it's surely it's worth it. They all feel
exactly. Totally, it's worth it. I've always liked sport and I've played sport, but I was always a bit that thing of the Marxist thing of just opiate of the masses. But as I've gotten older, I'm nah, bro, this is a really fun, healthy release.
It can be both, dude. Have you seen those the Maccabi? The Israeli soccer team?
Yeah.
They're not all Israeli teams are like that, but just this one particular one, it kind of is the more right-wing sort of soccer club.
Yeah, there's some super political ones.
And dude, they're they fucking go and trash places.
All right. Yeah.
And I'm not saying that club is the only one that does it. I'm sure there's so many clubs in fucking Russia, wherever, everywhere.
I mean, they trashed New York with the Knicks.
Yeah, but at least they did it to their own city. You don't want to fucking go to a different country and trash it for no reason.
That's true. Yeah.
So, I'd say even just saying things of I'm Republican, but that Zoran guy's all right. After the Knicks win, it's just de-escalates the tempo a little bit.
Sure.
If you get it. But look, Croatia. There's different approaches across the world as to how to actually deal with the Croatia issue because Serbia didn't want to give it up for obvious reasons, but particularly it cared about Croatia far more than Slovenia because of its population and because of its sea access.
There's beaches.
Which, they have that. That's what they have. So Germany, who's just recently unified, comes to the table and they go,
oh, yeah, true, yeah.
Let's recognise Croatia. Now, there's the immediate argument, which they're going, this is the right and noble thing to do. There's the longer term thing, which is Croatia has always been part of a German bloc, just historically. This is its rightful place is the little sister to Germany.
It
Obviously,
feels
if we're the first ones to lead their independence and get it through, that will wed us quite well together effectively. France historically has not been in a bloc with Croatia for long periods of time. Also, the sort of home diplomacy that is not very diplomatic. We need to have something that Serbia can walk away from being a win. Just independent Croatia without even any fighting happening is going to prolong the fighting. If they don't get anything, any concession from them, they're just going to double down. And then we can see the risk of ethnic cleansing at a much greater level. And then America sort of adopts a similar position. In fact, America actually sends out Cyrus Vance, who was the Secretary of State to Jimmy Carter, to try and coordinate a Vance plan, which is basically this temporary ceasefire that lasted for a little while before fighting consumed. There was the siege.
Man, it says a lot that you always bring out the Carter administration to try and resolve things. It's always them. Right. It's anyone.
Dude, and also,
chuck them in.
Yeah. Carter gets a bad rep. People just know him today as a loser. And I guess he was kind of a loser, but he had a fucking great origin story as well. Just
he was a winner.
He was
the fact that he was president in the first place makes
him
a
peanut farmer.
Yeah, and also he was good Trump. He was the one that was hated by both parties. He was just a peanut farmer, but he wasn't a psychopath like Trump. And the only reason why they hate him now is because he was less keen on wars.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like, I don't know, trying to think of an Australia's context. If in our backyard, like in the Pacific Islands, a crisis breaks out, they're to send in the big dogs. Maurice Payne, or they're going to send out anyone from like ScoMo's administration to do that crisis. I'm telling you, it's Kevin Rudd, or So I think it is a pretty good indicator of the respect that someone commands, plus also just the confidence in their ability to negotiate. So Cyrus Vance is able to get a short-term ceasefire, but Dubrovnik was getting shelled, violence continued for quite a while.
This is Madame Albright era, right?
What's Madame Albright?
Oh no! Wait, well, not Adam Albright. What
Kissinger?
Dame something or other.
Dame Edna.
Basically, the woman that looks like Dame Edna. No, she actually looks like Bronwyn Bishop.
Oh Jesus! Okay, I don't know. What they just trawled out some like
there's some very
Miss
scary
Egypt
looking
1971 or something.
Yeah, and she's always like the negotiator throughout the 90s.
Oh really?
Oh really?
This might have been later on in it, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, no, I don't. So it lasted until 1995. Major operation called Operation Storm, which is like, again, there was Operation Desert Storm in the Gulf War.
Yeah.
I think, how many, people were sort of dissing on Trump for Epic Fury. It's pretty cringe, but
No, Epic Fury's way better than a lot of them.
But yeah, also a lot of them have just been exhausted. Like you pretty much have to AI two words together to come up with something now.
Yeah, you can't be like mild force.
Operation Strategic Military Intervention.
Yeah, Operation.
That is one.
Operation
We did that.
Winning
Really?
Hearts
We
and
did that.
Minds.
And also this one, when we were cleaning up nuclear waste, Operation Cleanup. Like, dude, we suck.
So
So
Australian.
lame and lazy.
Yeah.
Dude, I will
But it's
give,
a weird that makes me be like,
Me too.
Ish.
Yeah, me too.
I will give
Really homey
Australians
about it.
credit for
Yeah,
coming
good
up with better
We'll see you shall be
military
better later.
equipment
Thanks,
names.
Jones. What?
what?
Australians are better at coming up with military equipment names.
Oh, what?
You know, have you heard of the Ghost Bat, which is like the drone that Australians have produced?
No.
It's like a
Ghost
really
Bat.
cool drone. But anyways, its original name was like Wingman Support Device.
Oh, yeah, that's lame.
And Australians was like, nah, that's like Ghost Bat. And like, and Ghost Bat is similar thing. Our
Operation
submarines are
Ghost
called Sharks, Ghost Sharks.
That's cool.
These are fucking better names than the rest of them, which is like J10C52K.
Yeah, it is a little bit Cronulla still. Like,
The shark net.
So, John,
Yeah. That'd be sick. The shark net. That's our Iron Dome. That'd be so fucking awesome.
it's like Netbeard's been like, they call it.
One of them ScoMo's Revenge.
Shit. Just my Macca's on the side of stuff.
So, Jordan, did you say Madeleine Albright before?
Yeah, that's
Sorry,
it.
I thought, yeah. So she was Clinton's Secretary of State.
Yeah, okay. Dame Edna.
Anyway, let's not.
American Dame Edna. And she was.
Hello, Passion.
1995,
Sorry, I'm still laughing about the shark net is our golden dome.
Shark
That's
net is
actually
sick.
that's a very funny.
Fucking awesome.
That's amazing.
there'd
Patent
be,
pending.
Hey, dude, that is actually what it should be called.
Yeah, the shark.
Straight up. If we ever create an Iron Dome, it should be called the shark net.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you'd obviously get your neckbeards banned. Like, oh, it's like, is that because it's ineffective and whatnot? But
Shut up, neckbeards.
Good point.
Why do you have to ruin everything?
He just pointed out the problem with that. It's like, well, they'll clearly pass through. Yeah.
But we'll
Sorry,
get
no.
made fun of it and have snarky comments.
Yeah, shit. Can't have any fun.
there's the agreement that was negotiated in 1995. Croatia gets its independence. Yugoslavia continues on under the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, but it's lost now Slovenia and Croatia. About 150,000 Serbs flee. A lot of them go to Serbia, but a bunch of them go to Bosnia as well. And that only increases the hotbed that is Bosnia, because Bosnia is filled with even more Bosnian Serbs. So basically, Bosnia goes through a similar process. Their Declaration of Independence comes later. They do a referendum in 1992. There's a warning that goes out to the president going, like, if you go ahead with this referendum, there will be consequences. The guy that's behind that is Radovan Karadzic. So he's probably one of the more famous people. He is a Bosnian, but he's a Bosnian Serb. And he leads the Bosnian Serb faction in Bosnia.
Okay.
Did they talk, like your family talk about Karadzic at all?
I'm starting to realize my family's not that political.
They might have called him Radovan. They might have called him
I don't know.
Radov.
I don't know. Like what's what he said? They talked mainly about food, all right?
What about anything about food? Yeah,
And even if they were, Mislav was just like slash thinking pink, pink.
That's not Slash. That's the guy from Air.
Actually, it makes a lot of sense. I'm now starting to think that, man, we actually did. Now I fully understand this now with the whole migration debate in Australia, how the wogs are always just like, yeah, us, the wogs and the skips, bro. Like, everyone else get out. Hey, we're like the Ubermensch together. And I was always just like, dude, no, you are not them. You're not the Ubermensch, you're the Uber drivers. Like, you are not, you're not fucking, like, they're always trying to accompany the, but dude, I honestly do think it was just that thing of like, as soon as Croats and shit came to Australia, they kind of just immediately assimilated.
It's
or
true.
tried.
Yeah. Oh,
Tried,
dude, absolutely.
you know?
And to this day, my parents are like, man,
So like as soon as
Screw
they
Croatia.
came here, they like kind of just spiritually left Croatia.
Yeah, let's leave those
Dude,
politics.
don't you think like assimilation is better if you're from a country that's like kind of has low self-confidence? If you come from like one of those like really high self-confidence countries like US, China, Russia, Turkey,
Yeah,
you're not
there's no fucking
assimilating.
assimilation happening.
Dude, you come from fucking Sri Lanka.
Dude, that actually is a good point.
Yeah,
but then again, okay, well, what do you think about Vietnam then? Because they fucking, well, they can't assimilate because of their accent and shit. Like, they don't know how to speak English.
But I feel like they assimilate
they
well.
try.
Yeah,
And, like,
yeah.
but is that like a high confidence country or not? I don't know.
No. I mean, look, they're a fairly confident country, mid-confidence, I would say.
Mid-confidence.
Yeah, mid-confidence is
Dude,
acceptable.
okay, this is the real one then. Like, if you're from a former empire, there's no chance.
Yeah.
No chance. Yeah, you're always
British, Russian, fuck, even American. Yeah, no way. There's too much pride in you.
that's a good
Yeah, and
point.
it's always just like with the Italians and shit. Like, they didn't fucking immigrate.
Yeah.
Like, they're still just waving the Italian flag around.
This is what I keep telling Mislav, because sometimes when he's paying me out with Pakistan, he'd be like, oh, of course, because Pakistanis are the best. I was like, dude, we admit we suck. There is no Pakistani that says we are the Uber men. In fact, they very casually say, we are at the bottom, sir. We recognize it.
It's like
There's no confidence flex coming from a Paki ever.
But then it comes to India and it's just like, dude, where is your confidence coming from? Why do you have any?
India is India first, Hindu second, Pakistan's Muslim first, Pakistan second, right? That's how I've...
Nah, I think they're honestly, I don't know. Maybe
so tied in
Pakistan's
Pakistan.
national pride is we're not India, right? That's...
Yeah. But then, like, and Indians always like criticize Pakistanis for this. But my argument is, and you would, dude, look at every country. Every country develops their national identity based on like hating on some other country. Like, what's the difference between
Yeah,
France
true.
and Germany? They hate each other.
You're
That's the
right.
only difference. And so I always go like, look, that's a good starting point. Honestly, just hating someone else. It develops like a sense of identity. But then,
Work for Tito.
yeah, exactly. But then that can't be like all of it. And you certainly can't do that if you have a massive minority in your country that's of the different side.
Yeah.
It can only kind of work in homogenous societies.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, we're low confident Mislav.
No. We both are apparently.
Actually true. Yeah.
Losers unite.
And
Dude, it is kind of
Scotland
true.
as
Like,
well.
dude, we do know we suck.
Yeah,
we do.
it's a tiny country. It's
Yeah.
tiny. Wait, Scotland is Scotland like that?
Yeah, they're low self confidence as
Yeah,
well. I
yeah,
feel.
they
Yeah,
are.
but they actually really have that redneck bogan thing of like,
Yeah.
you think you're better than me? They have that.
Yeah. I mean, the fact they voted no in an independence referendum as well is also like, I feel like no one really listens to the economic arguments of. I'm sorry, you saw it with Brexit, right?
Yeah,
It's purely just vibes, and the vibe was no for Scotland for independence. So,
Yeah.
Anyway, Ratko Mladic is the military commander of the Republika Srpska. That's the Serbian faction in Bosnia. And then Radovan Karadzic is the political leader of the Republika Srpska, which is the Serbian faction in Bosnia. So this is not anything to do, or directly anything to do with Milosevic. Obviously, Milosevic is funding these guys, but Bosnia comes to the realization of like, oh, okay, Bosnia is going independent. So there's two groups that open up. There's the Bosnian Serbs and there's the Bosnian independents. And so Radovan Karadzic basically goes, if you go ahead with this referendum for independence, there'll be consequences. The referendum goes ahead, all fine. He orders the Serbs to boycott. It's kind of a way of saving face. It's like it goes, we don't recognize the legitimacy of this, but B, they're going to lose. And so it's better to lose in like a 98% margin than like a 70% margin, because 98% raises eyebrows, 70% shows a clear and decisive majority.
Yeah.
So he goes boycott it. The referendum goes ahead, all fine. Or so it seems. At the end of the day, a guy just gets caught in the crossfire, has nothing to do with it. We don't really know, my understanding is we don't know too much about the motive of the shooter. A guy who was at his son's wedding gets shot.
Shit.
And
it's bloody Franz Ferdinand all over again.
Yeah, unfamous Franz Ferdinand.
And this
the band, they all got shot.
Wait, the guy that gets
it's
shot.
the only way, like, someone has to do that. They really do. Like, I look, I'm a big fan of their music, but it's just so poetic if they do get assassinated, you know? Like,
Yeah. I actually seen a video of this too.
They're a Scottish band.
There's a video of this wedding.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's for the
I think I've seen it. But my question was: the guy who got assassinated, was he a Serbian Croat?
Yes, I think he was a Serbian.
So like, so once he got killed, and Serbians were like, "They're killing us. We're gonna kill them."
Yeah, that's my understanding of it. Yeah.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
But by all accounts, he wasn't all that political himself. He just again, like he's having his son's wedding on the referendum.
Much
day.
like the band.
I actually had my friend who he's very intelligent, but he only reads what he needs to for his job, and then pretty much consumes nothing else. So he's duck schools, top ATAR and everything. Like playing FIFA with him. And he's like, oh, my friend said something about Franz Ferdinand. I'm like, oh yeah, like in what context? He's like, remember they had that song on FIFA? Oh yeah, like the what about the Archduke as well? Is that what?
That took a while for me too.
I was like, World War I? He's like,
that took a while for me.
He's like a top end lawyer that just has no concept because he's like, I never needed to learn
specialized.
Never needed to learn history. So
it's a very lawyer thing to do.
Always do become ducks. Just like you know. Like
oh, dude,
data in, data
in our
out.
school, there was a lot of that.
There's a lot of that.
There's a lot of people in our year. I'm not going to name names, but sponges.
No, it's the way to do it. It's the way to do it.
Maximum efficiency. Don't waste your knowledge on anything that doesn't serve any utility.
Yes.
Anyway, so.
We all kind of actually took that on in the HSC a little bit. We all had that. Didn't we?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Like in geography, I was like, Tassel on the mind, nothing else.
Yeah, but miss, you just have dementia. Like, it's a different problem. Like,
What do you mean?
You just have early onset dementia. Like, I have to remind you of huge instances in your life. You do realize you were married at one point. You're like, oh yeah.
But what's that got to do with Tassel?
That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, it's not data in, data out for you. It's just kind of just being like, hey, what's my brother's name again?
Oh shit, that's
I
gone.
still don't know your brother's name. I think his name's Migoreng.
That's it.
As a fan, the Rainbow Parliament has come up frequently. You're like, just fill me in on that again.
Yeah, still don't know. Still don't know.
Like, this has been like my channel's thesis for like 3 years.
I think I do have early onset. Anyway, yeah.
Bosnian Serbs lead the operation. So it's not this country, Yugoslavia, that are responsible for the military operation. Bosnia's got their independence. It's a contest between Bosnian Serbs, Republika Srpska, and then the OG Bosnian independents, who are made up largely of Bosniaks who are Muslim. And so they're fighting. There's the siege of Sarajevo.
Oh, shit. Okay. Sorry, it's just connected, but go on.
Well, yeah, like
You heard a lot of that in like 90s fucking docos, like the siege of Sarajevo.
You had as like Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
There's something called Sarajevo syndrome.
What is it?
Which is basically like 60% of the people that survived reported PTSD later in life, or some form of PTSD. And I think the numbers would be even higher because obviously the Tito style is just not to talk about it. So if we've got 60% based off of current sample sizes, one could assume observable symptoms would be higher.
98%.
Yeah.
Yeah, that raises eyebrows. Bring it down to 70.
Back.
The current captain of the Bosnian soccer team, his name's Edin Dzeko. He is 40, so he was a little kid during this time. He grew up in Sarajevo. Basically, like what happened is like the Bosnian Serbs surrounded the city. It was laid completely siege to. The key part that probably makes its way into pop culture is the snipers. The fact that you just be walking to get some bread, and if you could be like an 8-year-old kid and you could get sniped because you could be considered to be running intelligence to the enemy.
So that was Serbs shooting Bosnians in Bosnia.
Correct.
Yeah.
And this is
Bosnian Serbs.
This is the violin player, yeah?
Bosnian Serbs.
Tell me about the violin player.
I think this
Probably,
is what it was. Like, there was just this point. I think it's this, and if it is, it's iconic of one of them. But I think it's this because of the snipers. The siege was just going for so long, and like one guy just lost his mind. And because it was the Soviet Union, everyone's just a world-class violin. And so he just goes out into the middle of the fucking town square and just starts being like, and no one shoots him. Wow. They just sit there and just like, let him play.
He's not a separatist.
Okay. It's kind of similar.
Dude, there's so many moments of like deep sadness intertwined with a former Soviet Union and a violin.
Yeah.
And then and everyone, that always just like stops everyone in their tracks for something.
And he's just he's just doing Morse code.
Surrounding area, surrounding incumbents.
It feels like it's kind of sounds similar to West Bank situation.
Fuck, I really have
there's
to
like
piss.
settlements of like ethnic, and then you've got like a big state right next to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. History says very similar.
Well, the thing about like Edin Dzeko was like basically because soccer is life. His mum was like, look, he's got to risk getting sniped to practice soccer, otherwise he won't go pro. Like, we've got a prodigy on our hands here. We're willing to take the risk of him getting sniped in order to maintain his soccer, because if he doesn't, he gets left behind. He doesn't go pro.
Yeah.
Damn!
Commitment.
But there was one day where she was like, okay, I think today's a bit red hot. I just got a bad feeling about it. Stay home. And the field got bombed.
Whoa.
So... yeah.
Unbelievable. Man of destiny.
Exactly. And so he's now captain. So Bosnia's going to play on, I think it's like Saturday or something. He'll probably score a goal, I reckon. He's a striker. When you see Edin Dzeko pop up, remember that guy, if his mum just didn't have
What an incredible tale.
that Slavic sixth sense.
That's crazy.
Would not have survived.
He knows crazy. Even there was like when 9/11, some dude was about to board the plane, and then some guy came up and he's like, look, my wife's dying or something. Can I please have this ticket? I'm going to give you money. And he's like, all right, fine. And then the guy just like...
That's so much more tragic. Dude, that is not like that story at all. That is like way sadder.
Like Seth MacFarlane thing of like, I was drunk and I slept in. I was like,
That's...
What a fucking downer.
Dude, he had psychological issues for the rest of his life because he was like, he felt guilty.
Yeah, you would.
But like, you did, come on, like, you shouldn't feel guilty. You did it. God said it.
That is true. Like, you're just looking at it from his perspective, and he is rewarded for doing the noble thing. The darkest chapter of the Bosnian War was the Srebrenica massacre. Have you heard about this one where basically it's to the east of Bosnia, so getting close to, it would fall under a large Bosnian Serb territory. What happens is a bunch of Bosniaks flee there, and it was designated to be a no-go zone by the UN. It was Dutch peacekeeping troops that were responsible for enforcing it. The condition was you give up your weapons and you get protected by the Dutch peacekeepers that are there. There's confusion as to what mandate the Dutch actually have, because there's like Norwegian peacekeepers that like full on use tanks and everything are like, no, like stuff you, we're using this. The Dutch are a little bit more timid, and the Bosnian Serb army rocks up and takes boys and takes men, and then there's just a systematic killing of them.
Yes.
So
From that place.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dutch.
It's so this is like this sort
Keep
of like
smoking your pot.
yeah.
They were bloody high on the job,
No,
probably.
but didn't the Dutch soldiers know it was going to go like down?
Yeah, but
They were well aware.
It's like, what are we going to do here?
No,
Like,
it wasn't like they were just like, yeah, off you go. Like,
Yeah.
they were very sad about it. But like, what do you do as a peacekeeper?
But I think it's also like a requirement for international peacekeepers. They're technically not allowed to just shoot.
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is also early stage. Like it's like Rwandan genocide happened not long afterwards as well.
Yeah.
I don't remember how far back. I remember you guys did a podcast ages ago on it. My memory is a more red hot take on the Rwandan genocide. But just point being that peacekeepers
Are useless.
rendered impotent. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, you just have a really tragic. So it's 8,372 Bosniak men and boys that are marched off and killed by firing squad.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and it's just completely systematic. And so the issue in proving gender, like there's an argument to be made that genocide is just like, I would probably have a better perspective on this than me, that genocide is a useless term in international law because the criteria to reach genocide is so specific that all other crimes against humanity cover life imprisonment anyway. So there's no need for this one because like genocide, you got to prove intended to ethnically cleanse, able to ethnically cleanse. Soldiers understood that this wasn't just opportunistic killing, but the intention was to ethnically, like, there's just so many extra legal criteria points, yet this one still made it. So this is sort of held up as the never forget moment of the 1990s. And if you're talking about the war in Bosnia, this would be the most, like either the siege of Sarajevo or this would be the most iconic part. But NATO ends up using airstrikes against the Bosnian Serbs. They end up getting pushed back. But because the Serb population is just so much bigger in Bosnia because it's right next door to Serbia, it's a lot more difficult to manage than, say, a Croatia, and certainly a lot more difficult to manage than a Slovenia. So they arrange a power sharing agreement where 51% is under the administration of the Bosnian Federation, which is Bosniak Croat, and then 49% is by the Bosnian Serbs, the Republika Srpska.
I have heard an unverified story about this episode, which is, I think, funny. So before the NATO, the bomb, basically Americans start bombing. There was a lot of pressure on Clinton to do something about it, but he was not doing it because he was like, oh, it's going to create more problems than it'll solve. And then apparently, like, he was fighting with Hillary about something, and eventually she was like, are you going to do something about it? I was like, fine, I'll do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. I don't know if it's true or not.
I went back because we did on our Mr. M, we did a podcast on the 2016 election. So we're going back through Hillary Clinton in the 1990s. So I went back and watched a couple of Bill Clinton documentaries. And you forget at the time, just like, I thought it was this like later narrative to undermine her for the 2016 election, but it was pretty prominent at the time of like, is Bill really the president, or is he the salesman for Hillary's presidency? And even at the time, there were people going, he's pretty vulnerable to just like, how do you solve a nagging wife issue on the country? Like,
Maybe that was part of the mythology that was built around the time that like his wife told him to do it, otherwise he wouldn't have done it.
Because wasn't there also in the 2016 election, I remember one of the, again, because I was on such a heavy right-wing media diet at the time, one of the big things that they were going after Hillary from was that she lied about being under Bosnian sniper fire when she went. So yeah, she was definitely heavily involved in the American aspect of the negotiating process. But Yugoslav wars, it continues in Kosovo. I'll go through the last bit of Kosovo. It continues in Kosovo. Tony Blair actually leads intervention into Kosovo. If you watch The Crown, I don't know if you watched The Crown.
I haven't
You've
seen
seen bits and pieces.
This bit actually makes The Crown of Tony Blair because Kosovo is under control of Serbia, basically saying Milosevic needs to let go. Eventually, Macedonia gets its independence in 2001. By that point, Milosevic has been kicked out of Serbia. Bulldozer revolution from within. He's out of the picture, and he's been arrested alongside those other, like, I can't remember the numbers, like 161 or something like that. Right. Key people from all sides. And there's a lot of emphasis because when the Bosniaks were trying to repel the Serbs, they collaborated with the Croatians to do that, but then they fought with each other as to how to divide the resources and had their own mini war between each other. So from all angles, there were people up for trial. Milosevic would be the big dog that was on trial. He ends up getting, or before he's actually finished with, he actually dies of a heart attack. So he dies in 2006 of a heart attack.
Shit. Really? Wow.
Radovan Karadzic, the political leader of the Republika Srpska, he goes into hiding, and he has
in those forests in Bosnia.
Yeah. And you're going to like this. So he has to look like a hermit to disguise himself because he's got too many identifiable features.
I guess this is beard, does he?
Yeah. And he's the top knot hair and everything.
Nice.
But he also needs to have an alibi, like it's not Nimbin, right? You can't just walk down the street and get away with looking like that without people raising eyebrows or asking questions. So he needs to have a career or an occupation that matches that. So he becomes like an alternate medicine sex therapist.
Ooh, good cover though.
It's good cover. Yeah. It's a very good cover.
Imagine going for sex therapy and like, you look familiar.
Sorry. He lasts until 2008.
Wow.
So
That's pretty
My
good.
God, how the hell did I not know any of this?
He was still chilling in the forest when Entourage was in the middle
That's
of it.
crazy. Did you know any of this?
Yeah, I didn't know the sex therapist part.
Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah, Ratko Mladic, who was the commander of the army, was considered responsible for the overseeing of all parts of it, but particularly the genocide. He gets found guilty as well. A bunch of other ones. Slobodan Praljak, I think, is the guy that killed himself after his guilty verdict. But yeah, people tried on all sides. 140,000 killed, 4 million displaced refugees.
Whoa.
Damn.
But Croatia gets a really good soccer team out of it.
Yeah.
And
And what the fuck happened to Slovenia?
killed.
They seem to be just chilling.
They chilled the whole
Why
time.
do they get to chill and everyone's like literally in firing squads?
yeah, because it's the furthest away. It's
They're way up north and like not
Geography.
many.
it's like the broom of Yugoslavia.
and there's mainly Slovenians there. It's basically Italy, bro. They're like living, or
Too
Switzerland. or
close
some
to
shit.
Western Europe for ethnic cleansing.
We'll make
Yeah,
that
they-
mark. Yeah. Well, one of us will make a mark on the world much later. So,
Did any Slovenians die? Tell me one died. Thank God.
But
What do you have against them?
Yeah,
No one
so-
has anything against them. No,
No.
one. And then you just pop up.
They just
you got to.
Very niche opinion, sir, but thank you for your input.
Like you got your independence without struggle. So, sorry, Ali, you're saying.
Yeah, but no, but like it's kind of it just seems like you were in the Yugoslav war, you were in all of this, but why is there no story of death and destruction? All you have is like Slavoj Žižek coming out in like mid-2010s just doing this. This is the only sort of name claim they have. There shouldn't be genocide stories there.
It was too no point, I guess.
That's
And
pretty much,
also
dude, that is their mythos
Melania.
as a people as well. Just like they read a lot. They are very well read.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's what they all think. I
Melania
just think
Trump
it's all there.
showcases that very well.
Oh, she's Slovenian.
Oh fuck!
Slovenian, yeah.
Yeah, there's
Forgot
two
about
famous Slovenians, Melania and Slavoj Žižek.
I've seen that like some of the lore about the Slovenians is like they're all like basically gay because like it's like they weren't tough enough to get shot in the head,
That is such a Christ-centric way.
So good.
But yeah, that is the Yugoslav wars, Miss Love.
Hell yeah, dude. You know, thank you for doing this, by the way.
No,
because that is the one war that I knew very little about, and I'm glad we got this.
It's crazy.
It's the same thing. Like I,
140,000.
sure, history teacher was being my job, but like to be honest, I was like, a lot of it's mainly being a history teacher is not let me show my expertise knowledge. It's like, oh, we're doing this country. Got to, I don't know anything. Like, it's not like science where it's like here's the fundamentals that you can get by with.
But I feel like being a history teacher would be good. You can just impart your propaganda.
Yeah, you can.
All of those kids will grow up believing exactly what you told them.
No, it's true. Yeah.
It's like.
Yeah, you're right.
Have you seen the sort of meme going around right now is that like I'd say the most hated teacher amongst high schools right now is female English teacher who gets pregnant on the job, and then most loved.
Wait, why is that person hated?
Because they're just like there's like a stereotype around them that they all like. It's basically like early onset Karen is what.
Because they've always got that like class. I've got a big headache today. Like one of those people.
And it's all very postmodern of like has strange relationship with either is really antagonistic or has a overly familiar relationship with a 15-year-old boy. It's always one of those two. The sort of not to be self-congratulatory here, but the popular meme is that going around is that the male history teacher is the best combo you can get. No,
it's true.
But lots of psycho male history teachers that I've come across.
Dude,
I would not want my kid getting taught by that history teacher.
Okay, my wife is a teacher. I actually just recently decided to end it because she tells me that having like a strong male teacher is the best thing. Because first of all, the kids are genuinely not afraid of me or most of the women.
And you can project your voice with so much less effort as well because it's deeper. It's such a I felt really bad for female colleagues, particularly dealing with young boys. Like
that'd be
it's a barrier you just can't actually overcome. And
the strategy is just become the wife in Married with Kids.
What does that mean?
Now let's have Shaq. No pig. What was her name again?
I don't know. But what do you mean?
Dude, like
become
basically,
her?
you just have to have like sassy comebacks. Dude, if you're a female teacher, you got to be like a stand-up comedian and just crowd work.
Woo,
That's what you got to do, and just accuse them of being gay heaps. And that's how you fucking win.
Are you two kissing at the back?
if you're over the age of 40, I feel. Otherwise, it just comes across as like whiny or try hard. If you, it doesn't feel natural for someone.
Yeah, you need to be livid. It's true.
Wait, so on closing, who was the good and the bad guys? There wasn't. That's not how life
Montenegro.
is.
They're the loyal. They're the loyal. They go down with the ship.
But it is
But generally speaking, and like I'll take
completely
this
perspective,
I'll
right?
take this question with some seriousness. I know there's a lot of like shit that Serbians get, and particularly at university. Part of the reason why I didn't know about Yugoslavia is because some Serbian was told to shut up about it. Whoa. But I think like most of the responsibility lies on them as the dominant economy, the dominant culture group. They needed to understand that like if you want this project to remain, then you can't be like fucking nationalist about Serbia.
Yeah, which is I think like
which is Slobodan's fault. Yeah.
I'm coming around on Tito. First of all, he's Croatian. So that's a tick in the box.
Tito, I think, is fine. I think the only reason why people hate Tito is because he was like commie.
It's the same thing of like I think you see it in Australia of
That's why they kept it from you.
second like for John Howard's faults. He understood the broader project, and he could understand the sort of like pros and cons that came with. Just take migration, for example. And he was wise enough not to be too myopic in emphasizing only one particular facet of it. So, again, like you could argue that under Serbia, they wanted the benefits of being the majority partner without the responsibilities being the majority partner, which means that if you don't enact and follow through on your responsibilities, you don't get the benefits of the collective security that Yugoslavia provided, or just a single bloc. But I think like. Yeah, it became like if anyone learned anything about the Yugoslav wars, it was usually the Bosnian genocide, and so it became this sort of that would characterize the whole conversation around the Yugoslav wars. You see, like, and because that genocide you can see was directly ordered from the top down. It wasn't opportunistic killing; it was actual ethnic cleansing as tried by international criminal court.
What number do you need for it to be a genocide, or is it more?
It's not a number. It's an attempt to
act.
Like a planned kind of
an act for a specific purpose.
But but like if I were to, I don't know, if I were to do a genocide in here, I would need to prove that I killed you and Jordan for being Croatian, not just I killed you. You actually have to prove the intent behind the killing as well.
So when Croatians killed some Bosnians, that wasn't genocide, or was?
It was. People were trying to genocide because it was in the secondary power struggle between Croatia and Bosnia as to who could get the spoils of leftover Yugoslavia.
Jesus, it's just a fucking mess, the whole thing, isn't it?
And then that stops people from learning about it because they go, it's too tough to learn because it's just
the Bridget Jones.
It's just Slavs fighting with each other.
Yeah.
But I think and obviously I'm not no doubt most of the sources that I read had a pro-Western slant to it, so I tried to.
What about that book you read? That was very pro. Like it was more.
I never read that book.
Oh,
there is a structural issue that was baked in. Like you have World War II, the rise of like security communism, where like most of the world says, if you're on Soviet side, you'll be protected, or if you're on American side, you'll be protected. And the communism was like it had a lot of flaws, but these like ethnic divisions and separatism was not one of them necessarily, because it gave you an ideology that in theory allowed you to still be part of the dominant society, irrespective of where you were from. You just had to be like a crazy commie, whatever it might be, but like anyone could be that. And so when you have that system, I can understand how like multiple ethnicities can live as long as their ethnicity at that point is communism.
Yeah.
But once that goes away, then what unifies? Nationalism.
Yeah.
And once that comes in, well, that's going to break up the country.
And so people go, it's a lot of religious fighting. Nothing religiously motivated whatsoever. The communism sort of like sanitized the religion out of the area. So religion became tribal rather than Bible. And so by that point, obviously communism has superseded it as the glue that keeps society together amongst different ethnicities. And I think history proves you need one or the other. You need a political ideology that is beyond you and your own country's individual interest, that is so great that it captures the human spirit, or you need religion in its place to hold together a divided society. If you're a monoculture, then that's fine. But they had neither of those, and so the divisions were A, ethnic, but then B, a contest for who can inherit the scraps from the fall of Yugoslavia. And so, I don't know. I think like
crazy.
When you talk about the Serb side, you can go, hey, Serbia has these sides to it, notwithstanding the Bosnian genocide. The Bosnian genocide doesn't actually have to be a core part of the the conversation around the bigger macro problems that were going on in Yugoslavia, while obviously acknowledging that it was like real horrific stuff that you thought was done away with in like the 40s in Europe at least.
Yeah.
Now it's making a comeback even
It kind
today.
of always just goes back to that, doesn't it?
What?
Nationalism.
Nationalism just like works.
I agree.
Doesn't it? It just works.
It's
Nothing else
also
has
like
actually solve the problem.
It's
ever.
somehow-
empires, I guess.
it's the
They
default
do
ideology.
dissolve, huh?
It's like the default ideology as well. Nationalism is like, in absence of ideology, that's what will just come into prominence.
Yeah.
And I think it's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
it's just the natural
It's like
order.
the hunter-gatherer mindset that we have. Tribes, like when you're feeling scared, my tribe will protect me.
When you say it works, like that's what did it in.
What do you mean?
Well, Serbian nationalism is what caused that. All that.
No, but what I'm saying is like,
But I bet you
after
there was
all of that is settled.
Yeah.
Now
Oh,
it's like
preventing
stable
further
because
falls.
it's kind of just
I
like, now we're
understand.
Serbian and we're Croatian and
I
those are the
understand.
borders.
But I also-
like everybody just gets it.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah,
And I bet you miss, like, yes, obviously Serbian nationalism, and because they were the dominant group, like, that matters the most. But I bet you, like, all of these different countries had their own bullshit nationalism that they were really strongly advocating. Like, Croatians probably thought that they were the Ubermen.
Yeah.
Slovenes. So, like, it's not just like, oh, Serbians were nationalistic. It's
Yeah.
kind of like the nationalistic environment.
Sure. Yeah.
know?
Yeah, and it seems to have held up since then, the whole system now.
Yeah, remarkably it has.
Well, they've re-pivoted into different blocks as well. And so
Serbia's becoming, once again, being like, hello, Russia, right?
I don't know. I don't know what
They
Serbia's up to
always
these
were,
days.
and they still are. They always were, more so that.
Like it's culturally. How do you get get that out of your system?
No, you can't.
It'd be like
But
Fiji,
also, like,
Fiji looking for like Indonesia rather than us.
And I'm not even saying that they should. It's just like those divides are still there. I think Croatia is generally probably very pro-America. I think it's pro-Israel. They're just like whatever's Western.
Whatever gets us into the EU and to be part of the European
They just want to
common
be,
market.
yeah.
But I actually have a lot of hope for Central Europe and Southern Europe, because I feel that out of everyone in Europe right now, even, and I would include like Russia, they're the ones that somehow still are reasonable now. Like, for example, like
Hungary,
like
with the election.
even Hungary, but Poland more so, and all these countries, like, they always had a lot of fucked up issues as well. But now you look at them and there's like this respect for democracy. There's also like not this fascination with strongman dictatorship because they've like experienced it to an extent.
Done it.
So
Every country has to do it once.
But because of you go to Western Europe and there's this like fetishization of a strong man or dictator, strong woman, whatever. And then in fucking Eastern Europe, that's the default position. They've always had that. And Central Europe used to be like sort of switching in between, and they would respect dictatorship. But the thing that I see now is like they're probably the most reasonable Europeans right now. This has been my view.
Maybe.
I can't he tease out like categorizing Europeans by reasonableness.
But you have to understand.
Portuguese.
But you have to understand. Like, I'm just gonna say, Western civilization generally has been very reasonable. But you have to understand that this is a recession for the West, right? So within that context, I'm just saying that Central Europeans seem to be like. Actually, they have their head on their shoulders.
Pivoting their Byzantine, like to make their Byzantine Empire in the fall of the without the same luxuries of. Obviously, I know nothing about the Byzantines. That's I need to see Jordan's show. I went to the Roman one. I haven't.
But thank you again, Cam. Thank you for this.
Epic.
We really appreciate it.
I'm very terrified and educated. I appreciate that.
And again, it's pass fail. It's not it's not graded. So hopefully we can get Mislav enough to get by.
Yeah.
Obviously,
well, I'm googling Milosevic. I'll tell you that
there'll be people that are listening that are far more educated than this is me as well. So
I'm literally googling Milosevic.
Yeah, if you'd like to learn more about Milosevic, consult your local YouTube.
Which I'm doing right now. I'm not even joking.
He will.
Handsome
Are we winding it up now? Is that it?
Yeah, that works for me.
That was great, man.
No, thanks, mate.
Honestly, like, I'm going to continue my. It's now you've sparked that I want to see. I want to read more about it because it's like. It's such a dense, complicated history that no wonder my parents didn't. There's so much. There's so many facets, and it's like it's not. It isn't a good and bad. It's just
they are the same people. Look, it's just like Milosevic is fatter. That's about it.
Let me see.
Look at it. It's just like it's you with hair and fat. Like, it's the same guy.
I was actually underwhelmed. I thought that Milosevic would look a lot harder. Like, I feel like he'd look like a proper Slavic thug, but he just looks like a bureaucrat.
Yeah, he does. He absolutely looks like a bureaurat. Dude, he looks like someone that if he was born a little bit later would just be in like the European Central Bank.
But no, thanks guys for being great guests, and thanks for also being willing to share your family's perspective on it.
No, thank you, man.
I'll embed stuff halfway through, up late, go all that. So yeah.
And thank you for listening to us. You might not be aware of us. We're part of the FriendlyJordies podcast. If you listen to Mr. M, well, if you want something slightly worse than that, then make sure you listen to FriendlyJordies podcast as well.
It's
and if you're listening to this on FriendlyJordies podcast, make sure you subscribe to Mr. M's podcast.
I've been running in the FriendlyJordies slipstream for some time now. About to make my pivot to be the whinge merchant now. Of just like why FriendlyJordies is problematic. Like that video is coming soon.
He needs it. That's just what I need.
Give him hell, Mr.
M. I've Jordan for long enough. Now it's time to do the inevitable career pivot of anyone in Ozpol. So thanks for having me on, guys. Very appreciate it.
See you guys. Bye bye.
Thank you.
No, thanks guys. This is sick.